Hey, what is up, everybody? Sorry I am a little late. I was trying to get some things set up with the OBS software. It wasn't quite going exactly how I wanted to. What I wanted for tonight was basically to. Here, give me a sec, too. Let me see if I can hear this stream going on. Okay, cool. Yeah, there it is. I wanted to. Oh, let me also check. Make sure that all that bitrate stuff and everything is nice and slow so we don't buffer this time. Okay, cool. What is up, everybody? Just another Cisco. Yeah, sorry again. I know I'm a few minutes late. I wanted to. So, the plan for tonight, as it stands for the moment, is to. I'm going. I would like to hang out. I want to hang out and talk to you all as long as I can. I like to do a lot of just the chill stuff. I like to just sit here, chill, talk back and forth with the chat. But also, what I was going to do and what I plan to do already, I wanted to play some just video games in the background, but I just couldn't get the OBS software to pick up the window that I needed captured. I don't know why. I think it's because the games wanted to go. Well, I have the games in full screen and it just wasn't picking it up. I need a second monitor, really, is what I need, and that would help out a lot. But right now I'm doing everything on just one monitor, so the OBS doesn't like that as much. So what we have planned now is I'm gonna have this thumbnail just kind of hanging out in the background for a little while we get the Q&A set up and everything, and we get some chat going. I would love to just dive straight into the story, but this is a big project that I got coming up. It is a 4 hour plus story. I would love to just dive right into it, but I do want to see. I do want to give everybody, maybe 10 to 15 minutes to funnel in, because I don't want people to miss the beginning on this one. So please go ahead and hang out in the chat. Give me some questions. Bounce some stuff off of me. Let me answer some things for you all. Ask me whatever you want. Thanks, Cisco. Yeah, that was fun. That's the first collab that I've done with Yanks so far. Super cool guy. Liked being on the channel. He actually just asked me a couple of hours ago if I would be willing to be there for part two, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'll always be there for a part two. I saw you, Cisco, very active in Dusklight's live stream the other day. I was hanging out for a little while. I was in there for maybe an hour, hour and a half while I was working. So during the night, I do DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, stuff like that. So I like to listen in on. I primarily use creepypastas myself to listen to while I am either working or while I am gaming in the background. And Dusklight's always got some entertaining stuff going on over there. Hopefully, one of these days I can be in one of those. We'll see. I gotta figure out. It was annoying why it wasn't why the windows weren't popping up on the OBS. I was gonna play some. I don't know. I had a few games lined up. I was gonna play some Minecraft, or I was gonna play Planet Coaster, or I was gonna play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Just for the first, this was only for the first 15 minutes of the stream while people kind of funnel in. How hard is it to start on YouTube? It's a great question. Great question. It is simultaneously extremely hard while at the same time just one click away. So incredibly easy. So thank you for that question, Brandy. I see you all the time. Thank you so much for becoming a member also. Yeah, it's very daunting to be a YouTuber. I should have, I started this around 6 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I should have started a long time ago. I really should have. I should have started before that, but I was always so nervous, and it's nerve wracking doing a creative thing, you know. That can be a little daunting. You don't want hopefully you don't want bad feedback. You don't want people being mean and stuff like that. But it ended up, it actually really surprised me how it really surprised me how nice people are when I made my YouTube channel. I thought people were gonna when I first started, I was doing this into my cell phone and then uploading those via Bluetooth or something like that. I thought people were gonna just roast me. I was like, oh, my voice. People are probably gonna hate my voice, even though I've been told my whole life to do stuff like this. But it actually ended up being pretty good. I really only get maybe, even at my size now, maybe like one negative comment a month, which I thought it would be like way more than that. Great Aussie accent. Thank you. I go through phases. Sometimes my Australian accent is good, and sometimes it sucks. It just depends on how much I practice it. I actually, I actually had a coworker. I used to work at a daycare. Once upon a time, I was a pre-K teacher, and I had a coworker who was an Aussie. And back then, I couldn't do it at all. I couldn't do it. She tried. And then just one day, it's like one day something just clicks for you, and then all of a sudden you can do it. My wife has an extremely good British accent, and I'll try to do a British accent, but then like after like 7 words, it just turns into Crocodile Dundee. Let's see. So we got the project that I have coming up that has been in the works for quite a while now. I requested voice lines about a month ago for everybody. It is a tribal jail officer. So it is a guy who works on a Native American reservation, and he is a corrections officer, which is actually pretty close to me because I'm Native American and I used to be a corrections officer. No, that's a knife. That one sucked. I'm on the spot here. That is a good movie. Yeah, I used to be a corrections officer before I was a police officer, and it is. I tell people tell me what it's like. It was simultaneous, just like with YouTube. It's easy and hard, just like with corrections. It was like it was one of the easiest hard jobs I've ever had. All right, let's make sure we have the proper window set up. I'm gonna play just a little bit of audio real quick. All right, that's on the wrong. Let's put that. Oh yes, a setting right here. Playback device. Well, my friend said I was crazy. My mother-in-law, however, said that I would make it terrible. I wish I was young. I'm 32 now, which blows my mind every day. I got a baby face. I occasionally get carded for freaking R-rated movies. Ooh, a little gold coin action, Cisco. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, work. My work history, Ali and Brandy and everybody. I actually got my first job at Gold's Gym. My dad was a member there, and my dad was always very good handyman. He could fix anything. Very good with electricity and everything too. His job, his whole life was in control systems. So when to turn things that you put in that tell the lights when to turn on, the AC, the heat, all that kind of stuff. Um, so my dad would help the manager there. My dad's super talkative. So am I. I get my outgoingness from my dad. I can't stop talking when I get around people. And I'm very good at getting people to talk, which I think is my biggest um, personality asset. People just love to tell me stuff. But my dad would help the manager there for a lot of things, especially when the TVs. Gold's Gym, they don't have it anymore, but they were big around here for their cardio cinema room, where it was just a projector with 15 things of cardio equipment in there. And then my dad would help him out a lot, fix some things. And then I started working out with my dad going there when I was 18. And when I was like 16, 17, and then I met the manager, and I was like, he said, they're hiring front desk people. And then I said, could I get a job maybe? And he said, well, you can't work here until you're 18, but when you can, put in an application. And I did right away, and then I got the job right away. And it was super fun. I loved that job, working the front desk at Gold's Gym. It was shitty pay, $8 an hour, which wasn't entirely bad, 14 years ago. But then I worked at the gym for a while, and then I met I talked to everybody there. So one of the members there was actually a daycare director, and I talk to people. I tell them all about myself. I've always wanted like 6, 7 kids. I've only got one. We'll see how that goes. But she really liked my personality, and then she offered me an interview to come work for the daycare. It would be for a little bit more money. It would be for something more fun. And I put that off for about 6 months. And then one day we got a new manager. And this guy was just such a fucking asshole. Always looking for shit, trying to get people in trouble. He really wanted to come in and clean house. And I was a good employee, but this guy was a dick. And he wrote me up twice for some bullshit. And I was like, what, fuck this. And then I went for that interview, and then started working at the daycare. And I was working at the daycare for like 5 years. Worked at the daycare. I wanted to be a police officer. I went through the whole hiring process over here. They told me no at the very end. It goes from 600 to like 10 people, and then they hire like 4 people. You go through multiple, you go through polygraphs, ride-alongs, a month-long background investigation conducted on you and all that stuff. And they told me no at the very end. I had no college education and no work history for law enforcement, so they told me to go work at the jail. I did that for a while. I said, all right, this jail job fucking sucks. I left that. I went back. I did that for like a year. I went back to the daycare, and then from the daycare, I started. COVID hit, and then everyone kind of got furloughed, laid off for a bit. And then from that, I went to just doing, DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and stuff like that, and started making way more money doing that than the daycare. And then I got hired to be a sheriff's deputy where I live. I went through the whole 6-month academy. Pretty intense. The police academy is like college boot camp because you're learning shit at a rapid pace every day. And they can smoke your ass and make you work out all day if you answer one question wrong or look at somebody funny. But that was so much fun. Fun, might not be the right word, although I did enjoy it, but some days were absolute misery. You can ask my wife, me coming home and just not even wanting to talk because my feet alone, my feet don't even want to stand, and you're just mentally and physically exhausted. The most fun I had, we did a week with Glocks, we did a week with rifles, and we did a week with emergency vehicles. I don't know which one was my favorite because those were all fun as hell. Getting to shoot guns for free, that was sweet. Although our instructor was a total asshole, but that was a lot of fun. Driving the police cars though around the tracks, that was fun as hell too. Have you and Static Voices chatted about working together? I don't have their contact. I need to get in contact with them. Static Voices, that's a female, right? I know the name. I haven't really watched the channel, but I've seen the name around. and we'll see if we hit it or not. But I'm gonna set a goal of 10 super chats. Um, another. Let's see. I'm gonna give 2 hour. I'm gonna give a 2 hour goal for 10 super chats. If y'all can donate, please, that would be awesome. That would help me more than you know. And it also gives me, I want to do these every single week, at least once a week, and I might even bump that up to twice a week. But for now, it's tentatively every single Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. I would love to do this at least once a week. I want to do it twice. If it can, if it can generate enough income for me to do this twice a week, because I take off from my day job doing this, if it can generate enough income to slightly offset that, because it's not going to replace it. But if it can just give enough incentive to do this instead of that, I would love to do this. And I would love to do 2 of these a week. So I'm going to give a 2 hour goal of 10 super chats. Could be $2, $1.99, whatever y'all are feeling, only if you are and have the means to do so. Um, the live stream, I think, will go for 2 hours. And if we hit the 10 super chat goal, we'll go for another hour. Younger guy, okay. Hmm. No, I need to get in contact with them. Oh, just became a member. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Hey, Cisco. Appreciate that. Thank you. Blood Persian received a gifted membership. How cool. I just put out two. It's been done 100 times by 100 different people, but the Dogscape is like, I love that creepypasta. It's so fucking weird. It's so crazy. Makes no sense, but it does when you listen through it. And I love that creepypasta. And it was actually done as like an initial prompt, and then it was one where like a new author adds on it like every submission. So that's why it kind of just gets crazier and crazier. I love that one. I wanted to do that for a long time. But some of the because YouTube is so freaking ridiculous sometimes, and they have such ridiculous rules. Uh, I went ahead and some of these ones that have like some sexually stuff in there or like too much violence, I would love to just post it to YouTube, and some I will anyways. But some of them are going to be behind Patreon or behind memberships, but even probably behind Patreon, because I actually uploaded the Dogscape to Patreon maybe like a month ago, and then I was like, you know what? Let's put something out for the members, because there is some sexual stuff in there. Although I mean, doesn't offend me, but you know how people get, and then you know how YouTube gets. $5 from Cisco. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, thank you. I've only had a few super chats, so it absolutely blows my mind whenever I get one, and I get super giddy. And I can't believe it. I can't believe it when someone donates. So that's super cool. Thank you. Any cool projects at the moment from Caitlin? I do have some cool projects. One is this tribal officer story that we're going to dive into. I recorded some of it for y'all last night. So what we're going to do with this is what we're going to do with the story tonight, once I stop rambling, once we get around 15 or 20 people in the chat, because like I said, I don't want people to miss the beginning, because it's with these live readings, it's kind of like if you miss the beginning, you're kind of screwed, because if you dive 10 minutes into a story, that I know that shit can be kind of annoying, especially when there's not really anybody to catch you up on in the middle of it. In about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to go to the beginning of this recording, right? And I'm going to play probably nonstop the 24 minutes that I have. I'm gonna play the 24 minutes that I have continuously. Maybe some pauses if people want to talk a little bit, but I'm gonna probably play the 24 minutes that I got, 23 minutes, and then after that, y'all will see me. I'm going to record the story here in real time and then edit in real time. And you can't see this other window I have, but I have 8 voice actor lines on my computer right now. But you can't see them, but you'll hear them, and I can't wait to get started for that. Allie, oops, $2. Let's make sure Kevin gives up his day job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would love that. That would be freaking awesome. I still do DoorDash like 40 hours a week, and then I try to do YouTube for like 10 or 15, sometimes 20 if I'm going kind of crazy. Because I love this job, guys. I love this job. It is super cool. It's super awesome. I get to work with cool people. I get to pay authors for their work, and you know, I get to do my dream because I'm getting funded by donations and views from y'all. And then I get to help fund author dreams by paying them for their work. And when you get paid, especially if it's for the first time, when you get paid for something that you did creatively, it is one of the coolest fucking feelings out there. Caitlin Van Houten. Fitful Sleepers. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Christy, $5. Thank you, Christy. The Afterlife Call Center series is so brilliant. Thank you, Alley Oops. You might have been in there. You might have been in there for the last time I spoke on this, but you know, I started writing the Afterlife Call Center. I don't know, maybe 8 months ago. You know, we lost my dad a year and a half ago, and a lot of these just kind of just random. We don't really even really know exactly what it is. Could have been a blood clot or a heart attack, but you know, an autopsy is like $8,000, so we didn't do that. It was one or the other. It seemed to be completely instant, so you know that's a blessing in disguise there. But we lost him a year and a half ago, the greatest man to ever live, except Jesus. But the Afterlife Call Center really helps me to deal with stuff like that, and I get to pour my heart and my emotion in those stories, and it helps me. And the comments that I see on those, sometimes they make me want to cry. The comments I get on those emotional stories, the Afterlife Call Center, those are some of the most emotional comments I get, and I can't believe how many people are also my age that have been through that kind of stuff. I tried to start up a new series. It was I tried to start up basically the same thing, and it was called it was like I can't remember the name of it now, but it was like a broadcast station. You know, I work at a haunted broadcast station. It was something like that. I tried to start that up. It got not many. It was basically the same exact thing as a call center, just at a broadcast station. I wanted to try to play the algorithm a bit and try to get some lonely broadcast station views in there, but it didn't take off. And so I'll probably just go back to just doing the Afterlife. Also, I have another thing in the works by a super awesome author. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't have too much information on it. But tell me if anybody, and there's only 13 of us in here right now, so maybe none of y'all have even seen this, but tell me if anybody in the chat has listened to the Hotel Bella Muerte series. And give me 1 sec. I gotta turn the light off in here. Allie's been helping with the passing of your own dad. I'm so sorry to hear that for you. I'm glad it's doing something to help you. My dad was and still is, and always will be, the most influential person in my entire life. So I'm glad it's helping you in some way. There you go, Caitlin. I thought that was you, Katie Bug. I thought so. Okay, sweet. I saw the name and I was like, I think it's her. So for anyone who hasn't listened to it, and I'm probably going to butcher it, so you might want to just put a synopsis in there, Katie, because I haven't, read it in like 3 years since whenever I first did it. But it's about a girl who gets a job at a hotel, and it's basically haunted, and she kind of does a little bit of time traveling too, I think. And there's some really cool eccentric characters in there. and it's haunted by well, I don't remember too much because it's been so long, and that was a 6-hour story. But I really loved reading it. I still remember, I actually remember editing that because it was one of the first times I did a couple voice effects, and I had to set some presets for that story. Um, but it's super cool. It follows this girl who, the whole hotel rules thing. She breaks the rules in some ways. One of it's not taking candy from the pharmacy. I think another one is not eating a piece of cake, although I could be messing that up. Um, then she goes on this little time travel walk with this really old guy. Um, she has some visions. I think there's a raven named Jesus in there. I think, and it's a cool story. She meets a guy named Jasper. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that goes on, and then she leaves and then comes back in kind of a funny way. I need to get, and also too, Katie, I wanted to message you this. If you can send me, if you have one, if you have just a complete doc, a Google Doc or something like that, if you could send that to me, that'd be cool. Because it's going to be, it takes a lot of time for me to track down all the pieces and this and that, and I got to make sure I even have the original video. Um, because that was like a 20 gig file. I hope it's still on my computer somewhere, especially since I've had to delete a lot of old stuff because I didn't get enough storage, but it should still be on here somewhere. But it's super cool, and I'm half native, which I really love that aspect of it too. Just finished it. Okay, yeah, Lubes. Cool, cool. Yeah, that was an old one. Part of me wants to. So Katie reached out to me a little while ago and asked if she said that she's going to continue it because it left on a cliffhanger, and I've had some angry comments, Katie, because they really like that story and they've been super mad that it left on a cliffhanger like that, and I've been getting comments on that video for years now. Is this ever gonna finish? When are you gonna redo this? Did the author write more? And I've been telling people like, as of right now, I don't know, but um, part of me wants to just redo the whole thing and re-record the whole thing because it's been so long since I've done that story that I've progressed so far in my narration abilities. Part of me wants to re-record the whole thing, but we'll see about that. I think that also race car guy. I think my daughter wrote a letter to Satan. She got a letter back. I think that is one of my all time favorites too. It is definitely top three because Life is Strange Me Too is very good at comedy, and that story is full of slapstick comedy, great dialogue. Satan is hilarious. Uh, I am Franken Teddy, and I am here to love you. I love Franken Teddy. I really wish he would write more as well. Hey man, just wanted to drop in and tell you thanks for all the videos. I listen to you every night. Keep doing your thing, man. We all appreciate you. Thank you so much, Joey. I appreciate those words of encouragement. Those mean a lot. I see a lot of the comments on my videos, and I'll even see if I watch other people on creepypastas. The positive comments that this community leaves is super awesome, and it does more for us narrators than y'all could ever realize. Because 99% of people watch a video and never leave a comment. There are some people that I'll drop a video and they'll be like, "Oh man, It's the first time they've ever commented, and they'll be like, "I've been watching you for 4 years. Thanks so much." And I'm like, "Man, 4 years? You could have been commenting this whole time. Just say hi." I remember all the people that comment. I really do. Frank and Teddy is one of the goats, in case y'all don't know. um, the top stories that I've ever read. Let me take a look. Hmm. Which ones would those be? My daughter wrote a letter to Satan is definitely in the top. More than let me look on the channel. I Traveled Through the Nine Circles of Hell is one of my favorites too. It's a story by Wound Liquor. Hotel Bella Muerte is in there. It's in one of the tops for me. Uh, let's see, what else do we got? I work at. There's also another story by Wound Liquor. I work at the Hotel Death. We have some strange guests. That was a good one. Oh, top three. When I was a kid, I joined a freak show. That is one of my favorites. I'm going to start going through soon the entire doc and highlighting voice acting parts for that. I gotta read the whole thing, and it's like probably it's a 2 to 4 hour story. I gotta read the whole thing. So I know how it ends. I know how to voice characters, and I need to know who I want to voice what. Hopefully, I can get Dusklight in there, Vidith, We Try Horror, Whispering Screams, Yanks, Charon's Tales, Dexter. I want to get there's a lot of characters in that. I want to get a lot of people in it. It's going to take a while. I would love to start. The big project after this is going to be that. And then depending on when the Hotel Bella Muerte comes out, that'll be another one too. My most popular video of all. The most popular video, I think, is. It would have to be. For a long time, I know it was Welcome to Hell. Please take a number. Of course, my YouTube doesn't want to sort videos at the moment. Oh, wow. I think. Let's see. Because I want to say. Yeah, that video has 122,000 views. Welcome to Hell. Please take a number. That is a Life is Strange Me Too. The same one that my daughter wrote a letter to Satan. That's the most popular one. That's a really cool one. It kind of leaves on a cliffhanger too, which is a little annoying, but super good video, super good story. The next one I think is I Journeyed Through the Nine Circles of Hell, the Wound Liquor one, and the vampire Cryptid Hunter is a banger too. People love that one, and I love writing that one. I'll see you, Taterface. Thanks for popping in, man. I really appreciate it. We tried to summon a demon and got Dave instead. That was a good one. That's also a Life is Strange Me Too video. All right, are y'all ready? Y'all ready for me to just stop yapping and play the story? And I would love to yap. I'll sit here and yap for another hour. Is the Gehenna one with angels and people surviving in hell? The only one that has angels in Gehenna and people in hell, I think, is there's a story that's like 2 or 3 hours long, and it's I woke up in hell. There's a strange list of rules to survive. That one has some demons. I think it might have angels, because the Welcome to Hell has no angels. Your typical How to Survive in Hell has no angels or demons for that matter. It's just about the depravity of man. What stories do you like to read? I'm a Christian. The hell stories are some of my favorite because they're actually like the scariest to me. I like the hell stories. I also, I really like. I think my favorite are comedy stories. They're hard to find. You don't get that many. And if y'all find some on Reddit or No Sleep or Creepypasta Wiki, send them to me, please. Send them to me. Get my Reddit DM. Send it to me. I'll read it. I'll take a look at it and see if I can get permission. The comedy ones are my favorite. I love reading comedy. All right, let's see. Let's scroll this story to the beginning. Because I would like to, by the end of the night, I would like to have like an hour and a half of this story recorded. We got like an hour and a half to meet the goal of 10 super chats. If we hit 10 super chats, I'll definitely do another hour. And this is a 4-hour story too, guys. So buckle in for this one. This is a 4-hour story. If we can get the super chat goal, I might even take work off tomorrow and do another live stream for y'all and pick this up right where we left off. And then this story, a 4-hour story, would normally take me a few weeks to record because I record like on big projects. I record chunks in the background while I do my regular videos. So it's like I do my regular videos and my uploads, and then I'll record like 20 or 30 minutes of a long story, a day, 20 minutes a day, and then record my normal stuff, then record another 20 minutes the next day. But with these live streams, when I did the first Cheesy's World live stream, which I really loved, I was amazed that I did like an hour, like it was like nothing. Since I was talking to Chad, recording was like so easy. So on these big projects, if we can hit super chat goals, I'll definitely start doing this way more often, and then we'll get a lot more. I have a lot, guys, of long stories that are on the back burner that I want to record. And the live streams give me the motivation to do so. So I would love to make this a regular thing, and then we can get 2 to 4 hour stories out on the regular, which would be awesome. Ooh, some good old gold coins, Cisco. Thank you. Can't hang out too long, but wanted to stop in and say hi. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, a little guitar gift. That's awesome. Hey, yo, I'm wicked late, but what's up? What's up, Andrew? What's up? Good to see you in here. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to play what I have so far. Might take some breaks, might answer some questions, but I'll definitely be responding in chat. Just another Cisco, $5. Thank you, Cisco, and a donut. Oh, I'm on a diet. You make me want to eat a donut so bad. I love donuts. Oh, I love a good glaze, or a chocolate eclair, or a raspberry jelly. Oh man. Now I want some pizza rolls too. Son of a bitch. Man, I just had London broil and gravy like a couple hours ago. Ooh, thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Cisco. All right, let's start. I said I'll start this like 10 times. Y'all got questions? I'll respond in chat. Maybe pause every now and then, and let's get rolling. As the title implies, I've spent. Also, this is obvious, but all of this is unedited. So you're going to hear some louder breaths. You're going to hear some, I hate hearing mouth noises. You're going to hear some of that, some clicks. And the audio doesn't sound as good as normal because it's unedited. There's all this background noise that I haven't taken out. And then, of course, it's not getting compressed and normalized and EQ'd. So it's not going to be the same as what you hear for a normal video. But let's go. As the title implies, I've spent the last decade of my life working in a tribal jail. When I first started, I was told 5 rules I had to follow to survive. These rules weren't for handling inmates or dealing with life as a CO. They were for how to survive the paranormal. I thought it was all bullshit and superstition. I could not have been more wrong. The first thing I noticed about this facility, it borders the start of a dense, ominous forest. When I arrived for my interview, I stepped out of my car and looked at the trees and hills behind the facility. It looked like they went on forever. The view was serene, and if I didn't know better, I would have thought the buildings in front of me hosted retreats and camps. The razor wire, however, quickly ruined the illusion. After my interview, it took me about 3 weeks before I got the call offering me the job. I came in for my orientation on a Wednesday. It was all the normal onboarding stuff. HR forms, uniform, and equipment issuance, facility tour, meeting my supervisor, and getting my training schedule. I got assigned to the graveyard shift, working Friday to Monday from 2100 to 0700 hours. Not the ideal schedule, but I was the newbie, can't really complain. I was told by the jail administrator, the warden if you will, that I was to report for my first day that Friday. I walked into the briefing room at 20:30 on the dot and took my seat.
Hey, you the new guy?
A deep, gravelly voice from in front of me said. Oh, sorry, I just noticed that's a little jarring. We Try Horror has sent me his audio edited and with no background noise, so please excuse how, a little bit of jarring that was. It's just going to be like that, and he has a lot of lines. A deep, gravelly voice from in front of me said. Yeah, that's me. I looked up to see a man standing in front of me. He looked like he was in his mid-20s, about 6 foot even and slim but well-built, wore a plain black hat and had a nicely cropped beard. He looked at me with piercing green eyes, seemingly looking into my soul. I'm Jay, I said.
I don't care. Once you're here for more than a month, then I'll care to learn for your name.
He then turned around and sat down in the chair in front of me. I looked around to see everyone else just talking and joking with each other like nothing had happened. What the fuck was that about? I whispered.
Don't mind Will. He's just tired of losing rookies.
A soft voice to my left said. When I looked over, I saw a woman sitting next to me.
I'm Val. It's your first day, right?
She said, extending her hand for a handshake. Jay, I said. I shook her hand. If I had to guess, I'd say she was in her early 40s. Val was slender, had long brown hair styled into a tight bun. Yeah, it's my first day. I had my orientation on Wednesday.
What'd you do before this?
I worked security.
Nice. Have you worked graves before?
Yeah. I actually was on graves before coming here, so hopefully the adjustment isn't too bad. Val opened her mouth to reply, but cut herself off as we heard the door open and turned to see Corporal D walked in. Corporal D was an imposing figure, to say the least. He was 6'5" and had to be at least 270 pounds. He wasn't pure muscle, but sure as hell wasn't fat. He had a look to him that gave the impression he wasn't someone to cross.
All right,
he said with a deep, booming voice that commanded the attention of everyone in the room.
Here's what we got going on today.
To give some insight, this is how a standard briefing goes. It usually starts with a general rundown of what happened on the prior shift. After that, the supervisor will typically give out the post assignments, followed by any special tasks or assignments if there is any. Most of the time, that's the end of it. The supervisor will ask if there are any questions, very rarely is there, and then dismisses us to go to the floor and start the shift. Sometimes, though, there is some housekeeping that needs to be addressed. This could be anything from addressing issues to brief training on a new policy or procedure. That's how that briefing went. Nothing exciting happened on swing shift and no special assignments. There was, however, an issue to address.
So to address the elephant in the room, we have a rookie. Officer J, stand up and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir, I said. I then rose from my seat and noticed everyone staring at me. Not sure of what exactly I was supposed to say, I managed to choke out, "Hi, everyone." I then attempted to sit back down before Corporal D stopped me, saying,
Tell us a little about yourself. Have you worked in a jail before? Have you worked graves before? Do you believe in ghosts?
I could almost see a sly smile on Corporal D's face. I haven't worked in a jail, let alone been in one before. I have spent the last year working graves doing security work. As for if I believe in ghosts, no, I don't believe in ghosts or ghouls or things that go bump in the night. I'm not a kid. I smiled until I noticed everyone's faces go from smiling to serious. Corporal D looked at me and said,
Oh, you will.
He then looked back down at his papers.
All right, then. Everyone has their assignments. Officer J and Officer Will stay behind. Everyone else, get to work.
Everyone but Will and I stood up and left the room. Not before a couple of mocking "somebody's in trouble" comments. Once everyone left, the room was silent. Will was the first to speak.
What did I do this time?
Corporal D narrowed his eyes at Will before cracking a smile.
You kept bitching that the last rookie wasn't being trained right.
Because they weren't. I spent half the time untraining the bullshit they learned working on day shift. That is why we lost him.
Corporal D shot Will a look that reminded me of when your mom hears you swear.
Well, I talked to the brass and got them to try it your way this time.
Will looked surprised.
What do you mean?
Jay is fresh blood. He hasn't had any prior training. This is your opportunity to prove that your way of training works. However, if you fuck this up, we'll both be held responsible. Understood?
Understood. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Jay, you will be attached to Will's hip. If he needs to shit, you help him wipe. Make sure you listen carefully to everything he teaches you. If you do that, then you'll turn out just fine.
Corporal D said before putting a 3-ring binder on the table in front of me.
This binder contains every policy, procedure, and schedule you need to know. Consider this an extra limb during your training. If you don't have it with you every day, then you ain't ready for work. Read every page carefully. Memorize it. I mean it, Jay. Read every fucking word.
Yes, sir. I promise I won't let you down. I'll read it on my weekends if I have to.
I hope not. I have you and Will working general population tonight. Get acquainted, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Even the stupid ones. I can guarantee you can't ask anything more stupid than a lot of the questions inmates ask.
After that, Will and I walked out of the room. Is he always that serious? I asked.
Who? Corporal D? Nah. He just looks mean, but the guy's a teddy bear. It just takes a while for him to warm up to you.
When we walked to the entrance of H-Pod, I started to get nervous. Damn, it's nice out here, I said in an attempt to clear my head. Not even a breeze. It makes me wish I was at home to take it all in. Will looked at me and rolled his eyes. During my tour, I had only seen the unit for a brief moment, but now I'd be spending my first shift here. The door cycled and we walked into the officer station. The inmates refer to H-Pod as the fishbowl because of the way the building is laid out. When you first walk in, there's the officer station, a desk with a bunch of drawers filled with miscellaneous papers and hygiene supplies, a computer and phone. To the right, 1 house, left, 2 house, and in front of the desk, 3 house. There are 3 housing units with windows spanning the wall so the officer can see into the units from the officer station. Each unit is identical. A bathroom with shower stalls and toilets next to 2 rows of bunk beds and spanning the width of the unit is the day room, consisting of a few bolted-down tables and chairs. On one wall of each unit is a phone and a video station. Each can hold roughly 25 inmates. The entrance door then began to cycle.
So we gotta do a head count with the swing shift officer and get passed down.
Will said as we walked through the door. Just as he said this, the radio chimed off, "Attention in the facility. Formal head count is now in progress." Will and I proceeded into the officer station and placed our things on the desk.
Holy shit. Who the fuck let you in here?
The shout came from the man sitting at the desk.
Oh, sorry. I'm Smid. You must be Jay, right?
Yeah, that's me. Smith was an older, heavyweight man with a mustache. He was well kept, but looks like he was a few years past retiring.
Didn't know they made uniforms that big, Schmidt. Did the department have to special order it?
Smith stood up and laughed.
Fuck you, Will. Let's count so I can get the fuck out of here.
Smith turned to me and asked,
You do know how to count, right?
Before I could answer, Will popped in.
Of course he does. Just take your boots off and use your fingers and toes if you get confused.
The two laughed for a moment before we all walked to the first unit and counted. Once we finished counting the units, Smith sat back down at the computer. Will sat on the desk next to Smith, and I took off to the side.
Anything to pass down?
No, ain't shit happened out here today. Although, two house been pretty needy. There might be a few guys needing phone pins, but other than that, everyone is pretty much squared away. Just glad it's Friday. Now I start the weekend.
Any plans?
Aside from cleaning your mom's plumbing, no. Just plan on taking it easy and lounging around.
I just saw her and she didn't mention having a plumbing.
Took you a minute there, didn't it? Rook, sometimes you have to give Will a minute to process things. He's special. His mom told me that.
Smith laughed, slapping Will on the leg. I chuckled to myself. "So how do you know when it's time to leave?" I asked. Just as the words left my mouth, the radio keyed up. "Attention in the facility. A formal head count is now clear." Almost immediately after the transmission, a different voice came over the radio. "Swing shift. Complete your pass down. Clean up your area. Finish any reports, and you are clear to go." I could feel Will and Smith looking down at me. Never mind, I guess that answers my question.
Well, Will, looks like you finally found a trainee that's up to your speed. Jay, don't take it as if I'm picking on you. This is how we joke around here. It all comes from a good place. If anyone genuinely offends you, let them know. And if anyone gives you shit, you let it fly right back at them. Stay safe tonight, guys. I'll see you later.
Have a good weekend, you fat bastard.
Later, I said. Smith then left.
Well, it's just you and me, Rook. Grab your binder and find your login info for the computer. Let's make sure it works before General Wells leaves.
I grabbed my binder and found my login info. Luckily, it worked. I then began to flip through the pages of the binder while the computer loaded up. Inside, I found the HR manual, facility policies and procedures, inmate handbook, and a weirdly discolored copy picture of uniform standards. I got to the back and found a single page titled, 5 Rules Every Officer Must Follow to Survive the Graveyard. It was photocopied and looked like the original was at least 15 to 25 years old. I took it out of the binder and held it up to Will. "Is this some kind of prank or something? Like some way of adding a little humor to the dry material?" Will looked down and saw what I was holding. His face dropped.
Oh, make no mistake. That is no joke. I'll take care of the first check while you get settled, but I recommend you read those rules first.
He stood and walked towards one house. While Will did the check, I read the rules. Rule 1. Don't whistle at night. Rule 2. Take a partner when doing a perimeter check when possible. If you must do it solo, just look at the fence and walk as quickly as possible. Do not talk to the woman in the tree line. Rule 3. If an inmate says they saw a shadow with nobody attached to it, acknowledge them. Then move on like nothing was said. If you see a shadow and nobody attached to it, just turn and walk away. Rule 4. If you hear your name but nobody is around, act like someone was there and shrug it off like you just missed them walking away. If you hear someone talking to you after shrugging it off, do not follow the voice, especially if you are outside. Rule 5. If you see them and show fear, you're already a goner. Just go with them and don't try to bring anyone else with you. This has to be a fucking joke. There's no way it's not, I said. I set the paper down and leaned back in the chair.
It's not a joke, and it is real. We'll talk about it more when I'm done with the check. Finish logging onto the computer.
Will then opened the door of 2 house and walked inside. I finished setting up my profile and waited for Will. I looked over towards 1 house and looked into the window. I could see the light from the setting sun on the wall. Most of the inmates were already in bed. I heard the sound of someone tapping on the window behind me. "What's up?" I yelled. I turned around to see nobody there. I expected to see someone standing at the entrance door waiting for it to cycle so they could come in. I expected something. I brushed it off as a mixture of the wind and my senses being heightened after reading the rules. After a couple minutes, Will returned having completed the check.
Hey, you got logged in. Awesome. There's been too many times where rookies' login just didn't work. Usually it's from the sergeant fat fingering the keys and adding an extra character. Just pull up the logs and find the tab titled Cell Check. From there, just type HPod Cell Check Complete and hit save.
I did as he said, and we sat in silence for a moment. "So are you going to explain how the rules aren't actually bullshit?" Will sighed and sat back on a chair he found in the storage closet.
Do you really not believe in the paranormal?
No, I really don't. Every time I've heard anyone tell me a story of their experience, it's always been explainable in one way or another.
Have you experienced anything you couldn't readily explain?
Honestly, no, I haven't. I've never seen a shadow moving on its own, or heard a disembodied voice, or heard something only to see nothing there. It's not like I'm closed off to the idea of it. I just haven't experienced anything that has definitely proven it to me, and I'm not about to go searching for it either. Will eyed me curiously. I could tell he was trying to read me, and I don't blame him. I was doing the same to him when he talked.
So you didn't hear the woman tapping on the entrance door window?
You mean the wind? It must have blown something at the door or something.
You know damn well there's no wind. Wasn't it you who pointed out how there wasn't even a breeze earlier?
Yeah, I said that, but it's been a while since we were out there, I said. I then turned to face the door and looked at the treetops in the distance. After a minute of staring at the trees and not seeing them move even in the slightest, I turned back to Will. It could have been a random breeze that popped up and blew something.
Yeah, sure,
Will said, a tinge of annoyance in his voice. He turned in his chair to face me and leaned forward, looking me in the eyes.
Listen, I've been working here for about 3 years now. For the last year, I've been a trainer. In that time, I've had a hand in training about 10 rookies. Each one of them started on day shift and were sent to me after a month or two. You are the first I've gotten fresh. I will say this one time. If you listen to me and follow what I teach you to the letter, you will survive.
I could see a mixture of passion and pleading desperation in Will's eyes when he said that to me. How many of the rookies you've trained are still here? Will sat back in his chair and sighed. After a moment of silence, Will said,
About 5.
5? How the fuck did half of the rookies you've trained quit?
I never said they quit.
Then what happened to them? Will looked at the computer before saying,
They didn't follow the rules.
Will's voice was solemn, and I could tell he wasn't telling me everything.
Listen, you aren't ready for those stories. It's your first night. We'll get into that later. For now, focus on learning the job, and when you're ready, I'll tell you.
You can't just drop this on me and then tell me I'm not ready and move on. How am I supposed to not make the same mistakes as those 5 if I don't know what they did? Will scowled at me. His tone changed from helpful to serious.
All you need to know right now is that they didn't follow the rules. Drop it. I'm serious. Learn the rules and follow them.
He barked before turning and walking into the bathroom. Yes, sir, I said as he walked away. I was curious about what happened, but knew better than to press it on my first day. As I sat at the desk, I could hear the sounds of snoring and toilets flushing in the units. I opened the binder and put the sheet with the 5 rules back in its place. I skimmed through the employee manual when I heard the bathroom door open.
Hey, Rook, it's time for a check. Let's go. Just like with head count, follow behind me.
We then walked through the first unit. Once inside, I heard the door close behind me and I quickly caught up with Will, who was a few feet in front. We walked down the aisles, and as we were going into the bathroom, I heard what sounded like the unit door cycling. I looked at Will, who shrugged and kept walking. When we went to exit the unit, the door was secured. We exited and finished the rest of the cell check. As the night went on, that's how it went. We'd do a cell check and sit back down and talk about the job. Will would explain how to do certain things and what he has found works for him and what he sees work for others. Sometime around 0500, Will sat back in his chair and looked at the ceiling.
I think we've gone over enough work-related BS for the night. Why'd you take this job?
Honestly, I needed the money. Will laughed.
At least you're honest. Most guys spout off some bullshit about helping the community or wanting to make a difference. Some of them really did mean it, but the majority of us just needed a job or needed to make some money.
I was kinda taken aback. Here I thought I took this job for selfish reasons and assumed everyone here wanted to be a part of the change. It was a little bit of a confidence booster knowing this. I think Will could see this on my face.
In the end, it doesn't matter what brought you here. At the end of the day, you showed up. In my book, there's no selfish or noble reason to work in this field. They're showing up and doing the job. And they're showing up and then bailing.
That definitely helps my psyche a little, not gonna lie. When I started working security, everyone had the same precedent for taking the job. The money wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination, but it was there.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Security is shit work and even shittier pay.
He looked back up towards the ceiling and asked.
So, what does your friends and family say about it?
I sighed and looked down at the desk. Well, my friends said I was crazy. My mother-in-law, however, said that I would make a terrible officer.
And your wife?
All right. We are all caught up. Give me 1 sec. I've been snacking on some trail mix. One sec. There we go. Been eating some peanuts, some M&Ms, some chocolate chips in there. I love it. All right. We are all caught up. Give me a little bit of, tell me what y'all are thinking, and then I will, I'm gonna just get a little bit of drink in me real quick, and then I will get back to recording in real time with y'all. Okie doke, here we go. Let me fix the screen, zoom into the right, that's about right there. Cisco, I'm not gonna lie, you would not believe how much salt I consume and you know what? I don't buy the whole blood pressure myth. Technically it is true acutely in the moment, sodium and water retention and blood pressure, but the medical literature on chronic blood pressure and sodium consumption is actually pretty divided. When you look at a lot of these old health studies, let's say all this stuff, so much of what came out from like the 60s to the 90s was just purely all bought off by like pharmaceutical companies or by food companies. I've been using, like, if I were to get like a Chick-fil-A sandwich in their little salt packets, I'll use like 4 salt packets on the whole thing at least. Oh man. All right, here we go. Terrible officer.
And your wife?
She didn't say much, but I could tell she's worried. For anybody new, so if you look at the screen for a second, the way I record is like, say I'll go all the way to here at the very end. You know what? She didn't say much, but I could tell she's worried. Now, say if I made a mistake, I would go right before there to that sentence, and then I'll do a click, and then it'll go back to like 3 seconds before that and play, and then delete that at whatever after that, and then I pick up. So whenever you're gonna hear, it'll be a little bit confusing. So that's why I'm explaining it. You're gonna hear a lot of the 3 seconds previous. So it's a little jarring in real time, but that's how I edit, so that way I can fix things on the fly. So let's see. She didn't say much, but I could tell she's worried. Then I'm going to go over to We Try Horrors lines, which y'all can't see on the screen, but because I'm only sharing this one Audacity file, but I'm going to go to We Try Horror, and then I'll find his line.
She'll be fine. Screw your mother-in-law for saying that, though.
Sweet. Then I'm going to put that in, copy it. It gets pasted right here. Then we're going to hear it again. A little annoying, probably as a listener, but anyone who's here for the live stream gets these stories before anybody else. This story, depending if I live stream tomorrow, this story is going to be out in like a week or like 3 weeks. So we'll see.
Screw your mother-in-law.
So y'all are special. You're here early. Not many others are. Y'all get the first review. You get to see how the sausage is made.
Screw your mother-in-law for saying that, though.
Will said. We both laughed before doing another check. When we got back to the desk, I asked Will, "So, what about you?"
Well, I took the job because I needed one.
Why'd you stay? I stayed because I fell in love with it. I love the people I've worked with. The pay... no. I don't, if y'all see on the screen, the author didn't put a paragraph break there, and that's technically Will's We Try Horrors line. So there are some things where sometimes this happens, and I can't just hit up We Try Horror and ask for a quick line. When that happens, you kind of just gotta deal with it. Like, all right, here, why'd you stay? Why'd you stay? All right, that's my line. This is supposed to be his, so I gotta kind of think of a way. Sometimes when you get on this, you gotta kind of go like, I'll say something like, Will told me he stayed because he fell in love with it. He loves the people yeah, there you go.
I needed one.
Why'd you stay? Will told me he stayed because he fell in love with it. He loves the people he works with, and the pay isn't bad either. He said all this while nudging me with his elbow. Alright, so that's how we fix things like that. It's a little immersion breaking, kind of, because it's like, well, why were they talking back and forth, and then all of a sudden the other guy talked for him, but it's kind of what we gotta do. Okay. He said all this while nudging me with his elbow. After an hour, Will and I were sitting at the desk. While I was reading over the set of the 5 rules, I heard a loud yell saying, "Help me," followed by incoherent screaming coming from outside. It sounded like a female voice. "What the fuck was that?" I said. I cut out a lot of... This author loves to put "I said," "he said." I cut out a lot of that. Let's see.
You heard that too? Hang on.
Joanne Lamb, I love hearing you build a story. Thank you. Alley oops, this is so fascinating. Thanks for the look behind the scenes. For a long time, I appreciate that y'all appreciate it, because for a long time, I wanted to see how other narrators do their stuff too.
Hang on.
Everybody's a little bit different, and you can learn from everybody. I've been learning a lot from John at We Try Horror. The guy is a freaking wizard.
You heard that too? Hang on.
Will reached for the phone and called control.
Hey, are you guys having fun without us? We just heard someone screaming, "Help me," from outside. I thought it was someone fucking around and finding out. Are you sure you didn't hear it? And finding out. Are you sure you didn't hear it?
His face went pale.
Yes, I know the rules. Just let me know if anything comes of it. Know the rules. Just let me know if anything comes of it.
Will then turned towards me. Towards me. Towards me.
They don't know what the fuck that was.
From right at the H-Pod entrance door, we could hear tapping. A. A female voice was chanting my name at the door. Help me. Help me, Jay. I looked at Will, who was frozen, staring at the computer screen.
Remember the rules. Act like it's not happening and just stare straight ahead. Act like it's not happening and just stare straight ahead.
Fucking help me, Jay! The voice screamed. The door began to shake violently, and the taps turned to thud. Oh, nope. Messed that up. Help me, Jay! The voice screamed. The door began to shake violently, and the taps turned to booming thuds. Jay, I know you can hear me. I can see you shaking. The thuds began to grow faster and began to take on this wet sound, almost like whatever was hitting the door was bleeding. You fucking coward, Jay. They will eat your eyes and fuck the holes left behind. Damn. Okay. Shit. All right. Let's get a little... All right. They will eat your eyes and fuck the holes left behind. When he is done with you, you'll wish you went to hell. One more loud, shrill scream came from the door before it was silent again. What was that? I said shakily. My whole body was trembling. Please tell me this is some kind of sick hazing tradition. Will shushed me and whispered.
Shh. Shh. Shut the fuck up.
After what felt like an eternity but was only about 5 minutes, Will looked at me. His eyes were misty, and it sounded like I could almost hear him sniffle. Sniffle.
Have you ever been here before?
No. Outside of my interview and orientation, this is my first time here. I'm not even from this area. Can you explain what the fuck that was about? Y'all are also getting the story read on the first time, too. I haven't read this thing yet. I have breezed through it, and all the reading that I did was basically when I went in and highlighted everybody's parts. That's all I know about the story, really. So I've speed read the whole thing, pretty much. Let's see. So we're kind of experiencing this for the first time.
You never get used to it. Find out. Nor do I care.
Fuck that was about?
That was something I have not experienced in a few months. I've experienced her several times over the years, and no matter how it goes, you never get used to it. We've taken to calling her Banshee. Now, if that's what she is, I don't know. Nor do I care to find out.
Zachary, good to see you in here again. Sup y'all at work? So I can't chat but wanted to say hi. Well, hello to you too, my friend. Good to see you.
I don't know. Nor do I care to find out.
How did she know my name? I asked. We both were looking dead ahead still.
Nobody knows how any of them know anything about us, but they do.
Yeah, that could work, Andrew. You're not wrong. A lot of these
readings. This reading's on the fly. I could go back and touch that up a little bit. That would be nice. But also too, I need to get a new interface for my microphone. There's the one I have right now it's pretty old, and it's actually used for like singing for the most part. But there's one that I could get. A lot of the times when I yell, Brandy, be kind. Thank you so much for being here. You have a great night. Thank you so much. The interface I want allows you to turn down your recording level by hand, like immediately with the push of a button. I would love to get that, because when I do a lot of the yelling lines, they don't sound very natural because I don't want to yell too much because it peaks the microphone. So I got to do this like subdued yell. But I do hope to get that new interface soon.
Any of them know anything about us, but they do.
So what do we do from here? We sat in silence for a moment before Will shook his head and said,
I'll report it to Corporal D and let you know what he says. Let's do a check real quick. I'll report it to Corporal D and let you know what he says.
Will looked... Oh, nope, Will stood
I'll
up.
report it to Corporal D and let you know what he says.
Will stood up and looked at the time.
Out here for a minute. Real quick, and then I'll see if Corporal D will come out here for a minute.
I stood up and panned my eyes from 3 house to the entrance and exit doors. That's when I saw it. Will? Will?
What's up?
Look, I said, pointing at the entrance door window.
Well, that's new.
We both stared at the door and saw written in blood on the window the words, Jay, help me.
I can talk to D. The quicker I can... The quicker we... Let's do this check real quick.
Jay? Oh, shit. There we go. Fix that. Go
Quick.
back.
The quicker we finish, the quicker I can talk to D. The quicker we finish, the quicker I can talk to D.
There were only a couple of inmates up when we did our check in one house. Hey, CO, can you tell that bitch outside to shut the fuck up? We're trying to sleep in here, and she woke us up after... Oh, she woke up. Nope. Tell that bitch outside to shut the fuck up? We trying to sleep in here, and she woke a few of us up, one inmate said.
Screaming.
Inmate said.
Yeah, the guys inside are dealing with it. Sorry, man. Caught us off guard, too. You guys hear anything before the screaming?
An inmate that was lying on a bunk along the wall facing outside sat up and looked at us. Yeah, I heard scratching on the wall for about 20 minutes or so before the yelling happened. Anything else? I asked. Actually, yeah. It looked like there was someone looking in the window before we heard the scratching sounds, the first inmate said. Will pointed at the window in the wall. At the window in the wall.
That window?
Yeah, the inmate replied.
That window is at least 9 feet off the ground.
The room went silent. Nobody said anything else after that. Will and I continued our check. None of the other units reported hearing anything. We returned to the desk and Will called Corporal D.
Hey, Corporal, can you come out here for...
Called Corporal D.
Hey, Corporal, can you come out here for a minute? Got something you need to see.
Right as he hung up the phone, we both looked at the door again. Holy shit, I said. The writing was gone. We both approached the door and looked at the glass of the window. No sign of it even being cleaned off, I pointed out.
Yeah, no sign of rain either. What the fuck, man?
Alley oops, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for being a member. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great night, and I hope you enjoy the stories.
Rain either. What the fuck, man?
Will said. I could tell he was frustrated. He quickly returned to the desk and called Corporal D again. And a big thank you also, guys, to John at We Try Horror, because I asked him to voice Will, and Will was like a 40-minute sound file. Because this is it's about a 4-hour story, and Will is like the main protagonist's buddy. So I asked a big undertaking of John over here at We Try Horror. Please go check him out. He did me a big favor by recording a part so long.
Or clean the window.
Called Corporal D again.
Hey, instead of coming out here right away, I need you to review the cameras. Yeah, the entrance door, between 0500 and 0520. Tell me if anyone approached it or cleaned the window.
Hey, Will, I said. I gave the window a further inspection. What I initially saw gave me the chills. The same layer of dust was on the window with no signs of anybody touching it at all, let alone signs of someone writing on it and then cleaning it off.
What's up, Jay?
I turned to look at Will. When I made eye contact with him, his eyes went wide. Doesn't look like. I froze when I saw his expression. What? Will didn't say a word, but pointed back at the window. When I turned back around, I saw it. I saw it.
What the actual fuck?
There wasn't anyone on the other side of the door, but something was writing on the window. J was the first word finished. It took a minute, but we both watched as the words were written. J will die. When I looked closer, it was unmistakable. It was written in blood. Just then the phone rang. Will picked it up. A funny story, when I was working at the jail, everything's very formal. You answer the phone, it's like Foxtrot Unit, and then give your last name, right? And, Foxtrot Unit, Kilo Unit, all this stuff. And I was in, like, the medium security, and it's like, I don't know, fucking, like, 6:30 in the fucking morning, something like that. And we're doing our first rounds, going around, and I do my rounds, and make sure everybody's sleeping, everyone's in their beds, and all that shit. And then I get back to the front desk, and I am just so fucking tired. And my sergeant calls. I almost forgot I was at work, because I just picked the phone up, and I said, "What's up?" And then my sergeant goes, "Is that how you answer the phone? What's up?" And I was like, "Oh, shit. Foxtrot Unit, blah, blah, blah." And then he's like, "That's more like it." I was like, fuck. Just then the phone rang. Will picked it up. All right, he says, H-Pod. Naomi, so good to see you. Guys, Naomi, super big commenter. Great to see you in here. Thank you so much for being here, Naomi. I know your notifications have been a little wonky lately. I know you've been telling me in the comments, Sometimes YouTube just sucks. Even if you're subscribed, and even if you click that damn bell to all, so YouTube still won't send notifications out sometimes. And what is up, Sam Smith, Dog Smith? Sup?
H-Pod, Officer Will.
Picked it up.
H-Pod, Officer Will.
I walked back to the desk. Though I couldn't make out what the voice on the other end was saying, it sounded panicked. Will's face went pale.
Understood. I'll let him know.
He hung up the phone and looked back at the window.
We haven't experienced this before. Unexplained knocks, shadows moving, disembodied voices, sure. But this? I haven't seen writing inside the fence. I haven't seen writing inside the fence before.
What do you mean by inside the fence?
Most of those rules are for when you're outside on perimeter check. I've seen my fair share of weird and unexplainable shit here, but nothing like this.
You're one of my favorite creepypasta readers from Sam Dog. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. That means the world to me. When I hear a comment like that, because I have my own favorites too, and it means a ton that I could be someone's favorite, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Nothing like this. Explainable shit here, but nothing like this.
Will said, not taking his eyes off of the window. He composed himself and looked back at me.
So a bit of bad news.
I can promise you, nothing is worse than seeing your name written in blood 2 different times, I joked. One of my favorites, so Dark Somnium, probably number 1. Lighthouse Horror used to be one of my favorites, but then, I talked about this before, but then his channel turned into a fucking Rules Creepypasta farm, which is okay. I don't mind Rules Pastas, but when 90% of your videos now are just Rules Pastas, I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. And I know he did it because Rules Pastas go crazy and they get a lot of views, so now he's just chasing views. So that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I can't listen to 9 out of 10 Rules Pastas in a row. But he's great. He's amazing. He's a great voice actor. Mandizzle Faux Shizzle. Hello, love. Glad to finally be able to get into one of these. Well, it's good to finally see you again, Mandizzle. I haven't seen you in the comments in a while. You seem to go on a little bit of a hiatus every now and then you bombard me with a bunch of love, which I can't get enough of. It's great to see you here. It's great for you to be here. Thank you. Juju, he's all right. I mean, I don't listen to him, but I like American accents or that slight British or Dusklight kind of accent. That's just me personally. Everybody's got their own thing. Different times. I love Nature's Temper. His voice too is just pure gold. I mean, it's silk. When you listen to Nature's Temper, he's got that soothing low bass. I'm more of a lower baritone, low baritone, high bass. He's got a nice bassy voice. Ronnie's just got a very pleasing voice to listen to. Yeah, you know what? It's Dark Somnium, Nature's Temper. I like, Mr. Creepypasta's all right, but he starts series and doesn't fucking finish them, so that pisses me off. So I don't listen to him too much. Drew Blood, okay, yeah, there you go. Yep. You got Chilling Tales. I don't listen to Chilling Tales too much, but that's a good channel. Dr. Creepin, I don't know. He's got kind of a nasally voice. He's got a deep voice and it's kind of nasally. So it's not bad. I mean, it depends on what my mood is.
Good narrator. I really enjoy him. But I don't listen to him too much. Only people I really listen to regularly would be Dark Somnium, but then he disappears for 6 months at a time. But I listen to Dark Somnium. Sometimes I won't listen to Mr. Creepypasta for like 6 months, and then I'll listen to a bunch of his stuff. But like I said, he pisses me off when he doesn't finish series. Who else do I listen to? That's kind of about it right now. I have been listening to We Try Horror, because he's got some good stories, and he's got some very good he's got some very good I guess sound effects. He's a wizard with Adobe, so he does really good with that. I'm getting him to slowly teach me some things, so hopefully I can up my game a little bit. Who else? Oh, like I said, I used to listen to Lighthouse all the fucking time. All the time. Until he became a Creepypasta Rules farm. He kind of sold out on that, which was a bummer, because I love his voice, and he's super good at doing character voices too. I mean, his King Creole and Half Price Voodoo Shop is just fucking perfect. I remember Mandizzle. I remember you from basically the very beginning. All right, let's see. I joked. Different times. I joked. We got 45 minutes left on the goal. Even if we can make it halfway through, that'd be sweet. To, even just 5 out of 10 super chats. And, if I can make some money doing this, like I said, it keeps me from going to work. Keeps me here with y'all. Keeps me reading more. Any of the donations all add up to more content. And to more longer content, which is what I know what y'all like. And I get to tell my wife, hey, I made this much, that's good. She gets happy, I'm happy. I get to do more of this, all that kind of stuff. And you can gift memberships too. All right, let's see where we at. I joked. Where is that? Oh yeah, and if you haven't listened to Nature's Temper on the my roommate, I think my roommate is Slenderman. That video is awesome. I remember listening to that 3 or 4 years ago. Super good. He does all the voices in that, and they're all really good voices too. 2 different times. I joked. Oh shit, I keep replaying that. It's not even my line next.
Well, we're going to have to stay behind for a debrief with Corporal D.
And get ready for Corporal D, because Vidith will be making an appearance coming up.
Well, we're going to have to stay behind for a debrief with Corporal D.
Just then I saw... it took me too long to start. It's too long of a pause. Just then I saw a flash of light come from outside the door. Once my eyes readjusted, I could see Corporal D standing there with a camera. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Everybody, that's Katie Bug. If you have not checked it out yet, which it's got one of the highest views on the channel too. I work at the Hotel Bella Muerte. Awesome story. I did it in parts back then. It is a 6-hour story, and there's more to it too, which I hope to soon be covering. Thank you, Caitlin. It is so awesome to have you here. For those who don't know, that story ended on a cliffhanger, and I went through every means possible to get in contact with Caitlin over here, because she has a Discord, she has an email, I think she has a Reddit, and I was messaging her on everything. Didn't hear from anything for a while, and then finally I heard from a little bit of years ago, and then nothing, and then she reached out to me again about a week ago. I can't wait to pick up the Hotel Bella Muerte. That is going to be a ton of fun. In there with the camera. Let me find Vidith's lines. Let's see. Where's he at?
Holy shit. I've heard stories from back in the day when this would happen, but they always said the evidence disappeared before they could collect evidence.
Gosh, Vidith's voice is so fucking intense.
Always said the evidence disappeared before they could collect evidence.
Corporal D said while he was walking through the door. He pulled out a collection kit and took a sample of the blood.
Hopefully this comes back with something. Maybe then we can get some answers.
And I can't thank you for letting me narrate your story, Caitlin. That was a blast. Mandizzle, you saved my life. Let me help you too. Thank you, Mandizzle. I remember that comment. You don't know this, but when you left me that comment a few years ago, I actually took a screenshot of it because it meant so much to me. I've had some people close to me that have checked out of life a little early voluntarily, so and I'll keep the comment. Mandizzle can share it if she wants, but I'll keep it just her. That comment meant so much to me, Mandizzle, that you left. I took a screenshot of that because I look at it every now and then because it warms my heart. Dexter and Vox Animus are in the house, so thank you for that, Mandizzle. That helped me as well as you. Don't worry about it, Sam Smith. I appreciate it, man. I got you. I understand the wife thing. Thank you, man. Yeah. Anytime I do this, I'm like, hey, we did this. And she's like, oh, good. And then, then she's proud. Then I feel proud. Everybody's happy all around, Dexter, let's see. Vox, you missed your lines a little while ago. We got yours. Well, not all of them, but, some of them. Dex, do you remember when you pop up? I'm about 30 minutes into the story now. We're on like page 12. We're getting back into Vitus' intense voice. I get it, Dex. Yeah, this is a very, very good community. The people in the creepypasta niche are just awesome people. I mean, I see the comments back and forth in these videos, especially the emotional ones. So some of y'all might have noticed. All right, so I had I'm married now for 6 years. I've been with my wife for 6 years. We've been married for a little over a year. I had a partner before her, and she took her own life tragically. I was around 22, 23 years old. But I cover a lot of the emotional stories, and a lot of the ones that deal with taking your life early because they have a huge impact. Like I've never felt that way. I never wanted to do that, but I completely understand it. I know depression. I've seen it firsthand. So I do a lot of those feels pastas and those afterlife creepy pastas because they hit home with a lot of people, and they hit home with me, and they mean a lot to me. And I see comments on them all the time, what this story meant to somebody, what it did, and all that, and it means a lot to me. My 2-year-old falls asleep to your voice. You're a good babysitter. That's awesome. Oh man, 2-year-old falling asleep to creepypastas. What more can you ask for? My first daughter is 1 month old now, and I have been recording a whole collection of kids' books. When I worked at the daycare, I loved reading books. Any book, Dr. Seuss, No David, No, all that stuff. I loved voicing the books for the kids. It was so much fun. I get to do, and kids don't judge, so you can do the most ridiculous character voices too, and they just think it's awesome. Lady Spookaria, awesome. So for anybody that doesn't know yet, Spookaria reached out to me a little while ago, and I need to find the right story for her, but we are going to be working together pretty soon, and that is going to be a blast. Look at all these people rolling in. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, Dexter. Congrats, Nice Nightmares. Thank you. I'm recording a bunch of books for her, and then hopefully, I'll get to play them, and maybe it'll help her go to sleep in a little bit, because she does love the sound of my voice now. And then when I lay her on the chest and
She gets a little fussy, and then I start humming, get some low hums in there. She loves it. Man, Digital, it truly is. If anyone cares, I was in a very dark place. I wanted to self-delete, and Nightmare said something very lovely that really pulled my head out of my ass, so forever thankful. And I am forever thankful to be that person for you. And I'm happy to be that person for anybody, because I know exactly what it does to the person and to everybody in the family. I mean, nobody in that family or that friend circle will ever be the same again. Nightmares Nightly for Kids channel when? Wouldn't that be fun? Nice. You should do another Life of Dog. Can you elaborate on what that is, Sam Smith? Spookaria, I'm 100% down and have something in mind for when I bring you on mine too. Hey, anytime, any place, anywhere. If you ask John, he called John We Try Horror. He calls me Barry Allen / The Flash because I am so ever fast. He'll ask me for lines, and if I'm not doing it, if I'm just chilling, if I'm gaming, and if anybody asks me for voice lines, if I'm at home, I stop what I'm doing and I bang them out right there. I was doing this for years and years and years and didn't make any connections, and now I have been, and I love collaborating with people. I love being in people's videos. I now love having people in my videos. I would give my voice out every single day, multiple times a day if I had that many people asking.
Then we can get some answers.
Oh, the Dogscape. Yeah, it would be nice if there was another one of those. If there was another Dogscape, I would definitely read that shit. I would read that, absolutely. You don't really see... Now, and that was also like a writing competition, add-on thing, but you don't see a lot of authors take a lot of risks like that anymore, that I've noticed at least, to do something just totally outlandish and out there.
Something. Maybe then we can get some answers.
What do you mean answers? I asked.
Need to know basis, Rook. And trust me when I say, you probably don't want to know.
Also, I have a really cool story that I'm waiting on lines for from Dexter, Charon's Tales, We Try Horror, and Whispering Scream. I can't wait to get this out. If you want, y'all can look it up now. It's on Creepypasta Wiki. The Great Occam Cobb. He is a magician. He's a magician, and it's a super cool story. I don't want to give too much of it away, but this kid goes, it's written in the third person. This kid goes to the Great Occam Cobb. He's a magician. The kid wants to be a magician, and he learns some really cool stuff. And the magician kind of takes him under his wing a little bit and shows him how he does one of his biggest tricks. And I gave everybody the deadline of this Friday. I hope people get me lines early, because I would like to put the video out on Friday. But whenever people get into me, it's all good. That is going to be a fun story. I can't wait to get that done. Do a creepypasta about the files. That would be a good Patreon or a member video that wouldn't go on regular YouTube. Oh yeah, the old fart. I'll get those to you tonight. Thank you, Dex. No one's gotten me theirs yet, so you still got plenty of time.
You probably don't want to know.
Where is... whose line? Oh, yeah. Corporal D laughed. Find Vidith. Here we go.
Will's right, kid.
Vidith gave me a good laugh, so I'm not even gonna... I'm gonna take out me saying that he laughed, because there's no need.
Will's right, kid. If you need to know, you'll get an update.
Will's right, kid. Man, trying to get a little Vidith impression. If you need to know, you'll get an update. How the fuck does Vidith talk like that? All right, where are his lines at? Here he is. Boom.
Don't want to know.
Will's right, kid. If you need to know, you'll get an update.
Corporal D walked up to the desk and saw I had the rules sitting on top of my binder. Also, I need to send out some invites. I think on my YouTube member page. I think any Fitful Sleeper gets the Discord access, but I don't have I've got a Discord set up, but it's not nothing's really on it. But it is a thing where people can hang out and talk to me if they want. I got to send out some of those invites for the Fitful Sleepers, and let's see. Yeah, I feel you, Cisco. Been trying to give Patreon memberships, but not everyone uses it. I know. I really wish Patreon was better or easier to use, because YouTube takes 40% of memberships or something like that, and Patreon only takes 20. But YouTube is so much easier to be a YouTube member, because it's one click of a button, because they have your information already. Rules sitting on top of my binder. It's that extra step that makes getting people on Patreon so difficult, which I completely understand. And plus, it's just harder to use. YouTube has the best platform, the best mobile app and all that.
Oh, good. You're learning the rules. So, you still not believe in ghosts?
Oh, wait, let's see, right here. On top of my binder.
Oh, good. You're learning the rules. Oh, good. You're learning the rules.
He looked at me with a grin. Oh, shit. Where are we at? Boom. I can confidently say I am not sure at all anymore, I said smugly.
Listen here, smartass. Let's see if that opinion changes. I'm gonna steal...
Yeah, I know. YouTube's kind of ridiculous. They take 50% of the ad revenue that your videos make, and they take 40% of whatever memberships make, something like that. It's why does YouTube do it? They can do it because they can do it. There's no real competitor. The only competitor is Spotify, and it's not even close in terms of market share.
Opinion changes.
He looked at Will now.
I'm gonna steal your rookie for a little bit.
Will looked at Corporal D, then at me, and said,
Sounds like a plan, sir.
I then followed Corporal D up to control. What's going on, sir? I asked. I grimaced as the words left my mouth, realizing I should have just kept my mouth shut.
You'll see,
he replied. When we got to control, I could see the camera viewing HPOT was up on one of the screens, and it was paused at 04:55. Damn, this takes so much time when I have this many lines to go through. 4:55. So normally, when I record a story, that has multiple people in it, I usually record it just like you're seeing now, where I get everybody's voice lines, and then I narrate all the stuff in real time, and then I go back and forth and clip and copy and paste the people's lines into the story. And when there's one or two guests, that's like not a problem at all. But when there's 8 in a story, it's becoming a little bit daunting. Let's see. It's becoming a lot. It's a lot. So much back and forth. 04:55.
Have a seat.
I sat down and watched the screen as Corporal D hit play. I watched as Will and I could be seen at the desk, and all the inmates in the units were sleeping save for 1 or 2. After a minute of nothing, I saw it. There was a dark shadow-like mist that formed just outside the wall to one house. It morphed into a humanoid form and appeared to climb the wall before seemingly peering into the window of one house. It then disappeared before reappearing outside the entrance door. "What the fuck?" I said. Just then, I could hear the screaming and yelling. The shadow appeared to slightly lose shape with each scream. The camera switched to the interior view. I could hear the tapping on the glass. It switched back to the view with the shadow. Then it happened. The door bowed with each bang. I watched as red blotches appeared on the glass of the window. Then, silence. I looked closely in disbelief. No fucking way. The shadow reached an arm up to the window and began to write. But from the camera, it was different. I could have sworn it wrote, "Jay, help me," but when I looked at the footage, it had changed. It said, "You could have stopped this, Will." The shadow disappeared right after the writing stopped. "That's weird," I said, confused.
What do you...
I said, confused.
What do you mean?
When we first saw it, the writing said, "Jay, help me." Not that. Corporal D looked shocked. He quickly picked up the phone and called Will.
The one I got a picture.
Up the phone and called Will.
Hey, Will, what did the writing on the window say? The first time, not the one I got a picture of.
Corporal D looked back at me. I was still watching the footage. Will and I got up and did our check, and the writing just vanished. Thanks, man, Dizzle. I appreciate that that you like it. I hope to do these all the time, because narrating by yourself, I've done it for 6 years. Narrating by yourself does get so boring. And when I get to do it with y'all and stop every now and then, it is a lot more fun. And did our check, and the writing just vanished. I looked back to the camera that viewed the desk. It was then that Corporal D's words rang in my head.
Oh, good. You're learning the rules. Oh, good. You're learning the rules.
I remember putting that paper back into the binder. Actually, I know that I did. I watched as the shadow appeared at the desk. Corporal. He snapped his attention to me. "You may want to see this." He hung up the phone, and we both watched as the shadow opened my binder and took out the paper with the rules on it and placed it on the desk. Yeah, I wish more narrators did this. It on the desk.
Wow.
But, nobody really does it all that I know of, at least. This is something I wanted to do for a long time, but I never learned how to use the OBS software. And then I spent a long time troubleshooting it, practicing with people on Discord, making sure I'm not showing the wrong screen, trying to learn how to use. I still don't know how to use it very well, but I know how to use it well enough, at least. Oh, very cool. from Katybug. I'm making the full list of stories for you and realize I'm up to part 27 now. That's crazy and awesome. That is going to be a blast. I'm still debating on, I don't know how to put the story out. Do you mean, Dexter, how do you arrange the screen like this for recording? If you're asking me, I just go to the OBS and then I hit display capture, and I'm capturing one browser right now. So here's a switch, right? So this is getting the whole browser, although it has like the top 2 inches of my screen cut off. I've got like 10 things on this browser right now. The Great Occam Cob, which I was telling you all about, which is right here, which I can't wait to do. Here's another story I started recording last night. Isolated on Paradius. It's a sci-fi story. And then I'll go back to this. But then I also just have another window capture, which is window capturing just my Audacity and just this one specific tribal jail officer new collab. It's just capturing this. And then I have the OBS for the audio. It's recording anything, any sound that plays out of my headphones. On it and placed it on the desk.
Wow.
Corporal D said. We continued to watch as the shadow disappeared again. Corporal D switched the camera back to the view of the door. The shadow didn't reappear this time, but the words Jay will die spelled themselves out on the window. Corporal D.
And
yeah, so you just set a display capture, and then when you're in the OBS software, technically, when you display capture the browser, my entire browser is supposed to be showing. But you can crop it down. Like I cropped the browser up a little bit so it doesn't have like my favorites and my bookmarks and stuff like that. It's not showing that. It's just showing the part of the Word document that I want.
And now we are all caught up.
What did Will say was written the first time? I asked.
Same shit you said. So let me ask you again. So let me ask you again.
I cut him off. Yeah, I'd say it's safe to say I believe now. Corporal D laughed and patted me on the shoulder.
There's no need for a debrief after shift.
And for anybody who doesn't know, a lot of us were just in Dusklight's latest video. I was in it. Dexter was in it. We Try Horror was in it. I'm around like the hour 46 mark, and I think Dexter is directly in front of mine.
Shift. Didn't think something would happen this soon.
That was actually a story I wanted to do, but now that Dusklight just did it, I might not do it, or I might wait like 6 months.
Didn't think something would happen this.
It's the search and rescue officer it's like the GOAT story of creepypastas, the search and rescue officer. Yeah, I know it's hard to go back and forth. Thank you so much, Zachary. I will see you next time. I hope you're here, maybe tomorrow, but definitely next Monday. I know it's hard to troubleshoot this Dex because I don't really know what you're asking. I'm seeing my browser and my Audacity screen. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Didn't think something would happen.
I'm seeing exactly what y'all see, except the top 2 inches of my browser is cut off.
Didn't think something would happen this soon. Sorry you had to go through this on your first night. Just get back to your post. Tell Will there's no need for a debrief after shift.
Gosh, debriefs. That was one of the most annoying things when I worked at the jail. Your shift is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's what you get paid for. But your ass has got to be there at 5:30 to get briefed on of what happened before your shift. And then you got to stay about 20 minutes after your shift. So I'm working like a whole fucking hour almost extra. I'll tell you this, one of my favorite stories when I worked at the jail. All right, it's a little, I'm a bit of a, there's no holding back with me. You can tell me to fuck off, and you can tell me all this stuff. I'm a very verbal. I don't get offended, and I got thick skin. I was a police officer, all that stuff. So this might be a little raunchy to y'all, but when I worked at the jail, the local jail near me, which had 400 inmates, all the way from, no security to maximum security. My barber, who I've been seeing since I was 18. He's the only one that's cut my hair. He's a super cool guy, but he's had some drug problems. I found out, I was reading the inmate list one day and I was like, oh my gosh, my barber's in here, which wasn't a big surprise, but then I saw him not too long after that. I didn't have anyone to cut my fucking hair for 6 months, so I was buzzing it myself because he was in there for 6 months, but I get there in briefing one day, and I know my barber's in there, but I don't get a lot of contact with him because you don't get to pick where you go. And I'm in briefing, and our lieutenant is this like huge, muscled out black guy with glasses, and he looks intimidating, but he's like so nice, and he had one of the most photogenic smiles you could ever imagine. And he's giving the briefing of what happened the shift before, and I was day shift, which you get there at 6 a.m. So what happened during the night shift, and I get in there, and he goes, so we are in Kilo unit, and a report was made that inmate redacted was trying to take a shower outside of showering hours. So in Kilo unit, that's one of the lowest security. It's basically a giant dorm where it's like 150 inmates. It's all just one giant room. It's like being in a cafeteria, but it's in like a kite shape. And you're in this huge cafeteria thing. There's no walls, nothing. It's all open. Some inmates loved it, some hated it, because you don't get privacy, but you're not locked down. So people who want privacy don't get it, but you're not locked down ever, which is nice. And we are. I got my degree in criminal justice, Sam Smith. So I'm in this. He's in Kilo unit, and I'm in the briefing room. This is like we're all fucking zombies. It's like 5:30. Everyone wants to go back to sleep, and the guy goes, "Inmate redacted was taking his shower outside of hours. CO told inmate blah 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 to get back to his room. Inmate responded with, 'Suck my dick, bitch,' and proceeded to take a shower." And I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds just like my fucking asshole barber. Man, Nizzle for Shizzle, thank you so much for hanging out. It was so good to see you again. Anytime I see your name and your picture, it always brings a smile to my face. So I'm so glad to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, that story, I had to hold back my laughter in the briefing room because I also didn't want anybody to know that I knew that inmate. But that shit. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you one more funny story too. I'm in that same Kilo unit. This is a different day, and there's like I said, there's like 150 inmates in there, and this is like my second or third week by myself out of training, and I get a phone call from intake, and the guy says, "Yeah, I'm looking for an inmate, so he can get out of here." Oh, fuck, what was the term? It was BNR. I don't know. I forget what it was, but there was a abbreviation when inmates get shuttled out when their time is up. And he was like, "I'm looking for an inmate. Let me see if you have him." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "It is an inmate McGroin." And I was like, McGroin. And I'm looking through the roster. I'm looking through the names. And I'm like, I don't see a McGroin in here. And he goes, "The name is McGroin Phil. Last name McGroin, first name Phil. Do you see him in there? Come on, man." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't see any McGroin Phil in here. And, it threw me off because I got the last name first. And because we deal in last names in the jail. And then he goes, just fucking send the inmate up here, man. I don't have all day. And I'm like, okay, give me a second. I put him on hold. And I didn't see him on my roster, so I go out there. And then I go, is there a McGroin in here? And, I put some bass in my voice and I yell it out. And no one's responding. And I'm like, I do it a couple more times. So then I go to his first name and I go, is there a Phil McGroin in here? And then I was like, fuck. He got me. Phil McGroin? Phil McGroin? Are you serious? And the whole fucking pod exploded into laughter. And yeah, he got my ass. That was like a fucking D's nuts joke, and I fell right into it. Did 4 years in the Army. Whew. Yep. That is a long time.
Debrief after shift. Oh, Will, there's no need for a debrief after shift.
Thank you, sir. I will deliver the message, I said, standing up. As I walked out of the room, Corporal D told me.
Oh, and Jay, don't quit on us now.
It was so funny that it was worth getting clowned on.
And Jay, don't quit on us now.
Sir, I said with a smile, I, quite literally, can't afford to. So I guess I better get used to this kind of shit. Also, Dex, I just listened to John's story that I don't know if it's out yet, if you put it out, if he scheduled it, but the collab that he just put out with the cannibals. I really liked your lines in that one. You did really good, man. I'm like, fuck, he's such a believable character. So I guess I better get used to this kind of shit. When I got back to H-Pod, Will was sitting at the desk. Oh, let me switch back. All right, where's Will's lines? It's like navigating a maze here, guys. Y'all can't see this part, but I have so many Audacity files open.
How'd it go?
There we go. Found him. You definitely need to see that footage.
Oh, I plan on it. Hey, when the Daywalkers get here, we'll just leave this out of our pass down. They don't understand, and I don't feel like explaining my sanity.
I just nodded my head in agreement. The sun began to rise, and the day shift officer arrived, and we did head count. Once we finished telling him how nothing happened, we left. As we walked out of the facility, I couldn't shake this feeling that I was being followed. When I got into my car and looked at the windshield, I thought I saw a woman standing in the tree line, staring right at me. Remembering Rule 2, I turned my car on and drove home. About 3 months after my first, you know what, let me give a little bit of a pause there so it's not so, yeah, I also got I turned my car on and drove home. Yeah, I got to make that a little bit more like, I turned my car on and drove home. All right. Woman standing in the tree line, staring right at me. Remembering Rule 2, I turned my car on and drove home. About 3 months after my first shift, I was all trained up. Oh, is Vox coming back in? Sam Smith, have a good night. I got to go study. It's been fun. You have a good night too, brother. I appreciate you coming in here and hanging out, and I hope to see you again next week. Keep doing good at school. I know how it is. I wrote a lot of papers on criminal justice, reformation, recidivism, all that stuff. I hope you have a good night, man. First shift, I was all trained up. First shift, early. I was all trained up. I was posted. Fuck. Here, let me just fix it. There we go. There. I was posted as a roamer for my first solo shift. I say solo because I wasn't actually on my own, technically. When you're posted as a roamer, you have a partner. When I was in training, I was always with Will, so technically I was his partner. This is because, as the rules state, you have to bring a partner with you whenever you do a perimeter check or go outside the fence line. My partner that night was Val. Outside of our brief interaction on my first night, I hadn't worked with Val all that much. She was nice and very helpful. We all joked that Val was the mom of the shift. When I got hurt, only minor scratches, after a fight with a drunk guy that was being booked in, she was the first one to yell at me for not going to see the nurse afterwards. I'm sure that if... I fucked it up. One to yell at me for not going to see the nurse afterwards. I'm sure that if it wouldn't have gotten her in trouble, she would have dragged me by my ear to the medical office.
So, Jay, how are you liking the job so far?
We were walking in from briefing together after getting our special assignment for the night. Good. Aside from all the annoying questions the inmates ask, I think I'm starting to get it. I got a question for you.
What's up?
So, Corporal D said that both Days and Swings reported outside calls coming in reporting a woman spotted in the woods just outside the perimeter. Is this something that happens often? We stopped walking and Val looked at me for a moment.
Kinda. We get calls about hikers or hunters or hell. Sometimes groups of teenagers hanging out in the forest all the time. This isn't some...
Thank you, Cisco, for gifting a membership. That is awesome. Yep, Vox is in there. Here we go. Let's see. I hope, I still got a message her, I think, about that other collab.
Something too out of the ordinary. Kinda.
Let's see, let me edit some of the pauses out. Looked at me for a moment.
Kinda. We get calls about hikers or hunters or hell. Sometimes groups of teenagers hanging out in the forest all the time. This isn't something too out of the ordinary.
She sounded like she was choosing her words very carefully. I looked at Val and could see something was bothering her. Corporal D had the two of us stay after everyone else. Our special assignment was that we had to do a perimeter check once an hour. Normally, there's only 2 to 3 perimeter checks done per shift. Once at the start of the shift, and once towards the end of the shift. And if nothing is going on, once in the middle. That night, we'd be doing 5 times as much as normal. The assignment didn't end with that, though. We technically have 4 perimeters. There's the interior perimeter, which is everything inside the interior fence, the fence that lines the yard. Then there's the space in between the outer perimeter fence and the yard fence. We call this area no man's land, since it's not used for anything other than emergency evacuation meeting points and access to maintenance closets. After that, you have the exterior perimeter. This refers to everything outside the fence that encompasses the entire facility. Normally, when we do a perimeter check, we start with an interior perimeter check. This is done by checking the recreation yard and interior fence, making sure the fence has no signs of damage or tampering, and checking the entire yard for contraband and/or hazards. I don't know why that fucking paragraph just drained the shit out of me for some reason. Let's see. Entire yard for contraband and/or hazards. When we do an exterior perimeter check, we ensure the exterior fence is intact and check for any possible contraband stashed outside.
Usually, these are the only checks done, but we were tasked with checking the fourth perimeter once every 2 hours as well. This is a fence that is about 100 feet into the tree line. It serves as a barrier separating the outer perimeter of the facility from the residential area and about 3/4 of a mile behind the tree line. Unlike the interior and exterior fence, this one doesn't encompass the property. Instead, it's in an L shape and is only about 1,000 feet long in total. It's only accessible on foot through roughly carved trails that line the fence. During daylight hours, it's a beautiful hike through the forest. When the sun is out, the thick tree canopy provides a pleasant balance between shade and visibility. Don't get me wrong, the forest surrounding the jail has an eerie feeling to it. Regardless of the time, you always feel like you're being watched or followed. At night, it's straight out of a horror movie. Without a bright flashlight, it's impossible to navigate since the tree canopy blocks any ambient moonlight. During my training, Will only showed me this fence line one time, and that was when the sun was out. "Hey, you okay?" I asked.
Yeah, why?
Val was normally very chipper and talkative, but after hearing what our assignment was, she was acting off. "Just seems like this assignment is bothering you. Normally you'd be talking my ear off about the weekend, but you haven't said much since briefing."
Yeah, why?
Oh shit, it's the same line. Let me fix that. I thought she sent me 2. That's why. Okay. You haven't said much since briefing,
I'm fine.
Val said. Her tone was uncharacteristically short. The door into the facility slid open with a metallic clang, like it always does. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see Val flinch with the clang. "I'm gonna set my shit down and check out my gear from control. I'll meet you in the yard at 21:30 and we can start the first check." Let's see. Oh, the goal just ended. Well, we made it halfway through. We're at the 2 hour and 20-minute mark. The goal was going to give us another hour, but Cisco has been so generous that I'm going to keep going for a little bit and start the first check. Thank you, Cisco.
Sounds good.
First check.
Sounds good.
I went to the control room and checked out my radio. The keys to the personnel. I went to the control room and checked out my radio. The keys to the personnel gates and the fences and a flashlight. Fuck, no, that sounds weird. I gotta redo the whole thing. First check.
Sounds good.
I went to the control room and checked out my radio. Fuck, I said it wrong again. It's a long sentence that's phrased kind of funny, so I gotta make sure I get all the inflections right. First check.
Sounds good.
I went to the control room and checked out my radio, the keys to the personnel gates and the fences, and a flashlight. Corporal D handed me a different flashlight than normal. Usually we get a... Corporal D handed me a different flashlight than normal. Usually we get issued a generic run-of-the-mill flashlight. Nothing special to it. Just bright enough to see in the dark areas of a unit without waking the inmates. This one was a big fuck you flashlight. The bulb was at least 6 inches around and it was about a foot long. On the side of it, it read, 100,000 lumens LED in white lettering. Whoa, this thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, we ordered that a couple months ago for perimeter checks, and it arrived earlier today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cisco. We are going to be going on for a good little bit longer, I think, due to your donations. I appreciate that so much. What do we have next?
Just don't lose.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, we ordered that a couple months ago for perimeter checks, and it arrived earlier today. I turned it on in the admin office, and it lit up the room like it was daylight. I think it should be sufficient for the night. Just don't lose it.
Well, as long as it lights the way, it'll work. I'll let you know how it works when I get back from this check. Now, if you got nothing going on later, maybe you'll join us for a check and see it in action.
We'll see. Jay.
For a check and see it in action.
We'll see.
I turned and walked out of the room. After I secured the control door behind me, I turned to see Will standing in the hallway. "Hey, Will, what's up?" Will opened the door to the attorney visit room, a small room with no cameras for attorney-client privilege. Supervisors would pull you into this room to have unpleasant conversations. Officers, however, would use this room to talk with people. Officers, however, would use this room to talk without people eavesdropping. So, when Will motioned for me to step in the room with him, I knew something was wrong. Let's see. So tomorrow, I don't know. I want to do another live stream tomorrow, but let's see. Tomorrow, I do need to get out a regular scheduled video. I know that. I need a regular scheduled video out tomorrow, which I think is going to be this Isolated on Paradius. Oh, fuck. I got a lot left to record on this. How much? We have 12 minutes of that recorded already. I think that's going to be tomorrow's video. I actually might stop recording this tribal story with y'all and work on the Paradius video. Let's see. I want to live stream tomorrow, but I need to put out a regular scheduled video tomorrow too. Tell me, are y'all okay? So I have 12 minutes of this Paradius video. It would give me like a 12-minute break if I stop recording the tribal officer video, and then I'll play everything like I did earlier. I'll play the Paradius video that I have right now, 12 minutes. That'll give me a little bit of a break to rest and chill for a minute. And then I'll pick up the recording on that. And Infernos. Might do something like that. But chat's kind of just died. No one's really talking anymore. Let's see. Until I get some input, I'll just keep going with this. In the room with him, I knew something was wrong. Where am I at? Will's lines. Here we go. Something was wrong.
Jay, we need to talk.
He said, making sure the door was closed.
I lost. On your first night, you asked me about the 5 rookies I lost.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that I wasn't ready. Why?
Val told me about your guys' assignment tonight and what Corporal D reported sparked it. Before you start these checks, you need to know something.
What are you trying to say? Good to see you here, Katie. Trying to say.
Don't let it go to your... You're ready, Jay.
What are you...
Before you start ready, Jay.
Trying to say,
You're ready, Jay.
Will said. My demeanor changed from nervous to excited, and I smiled ear to ear.
Don't let it go to your head. This isn't a good thing, but
Yeah, tomorrow. I don't know about if any of y'all do. Tomorrow, I actually have. So I'll work my day job from like 11. I don't know. Actually, tomorrow I'm probably going to record in the morning. I have a bowling league. So I am in a bowling league. I know I'm a total nerd. But yeah, I'm in a bowling league with me and a couple buddies. Where we actually are bowling on professional oil patterns. If you don't know anything about bowling, then you don't know what this isn't going to mean anything to you after, but I'm getting ready to head to my lunch break at work, but I love the videos and props to all the effort you put in and keep going. Thank you so much, Jordan, for that. I appreciate that, Jordan. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day at work. I have my bowling league from 6:30 to runs till about 8:30. It's a three-man team. Why the hell did I even bring that up? What was I going to talk about? Oh, I was going to talk about doing a live stream tomorrow, but then I forgot that I need to put out a regular scheduled video tomorrow instead. So maybe I'll do the live stream on the second one on Wednesday, maybe.
thing you need to know. A good thing, but it is something you need to know.
What are you... Wait a second, where the fuck? Okay, there we go. I'm there, okay. My smile vanished. Oh shit, is it that bad? I asked. Alright, I think I'm going to take this story to the hour mark, is what we might go to with this. Let's see. We didn't hit the goal, but we did get 5 out of 10, and we did get a few memberships, which is freaking awesome. I asked.
Let me start from... You're ready, Jay.
Did I fuck something up? Oh, no, here we
Let
go.
me start from the
All right,
beginning.
Let's start from the
and
beginning.
You can
Okay.
make the determination after that.
I don't know, it's like I had some weird deja vu there for a second.
And you can make the determination after that.
We both sat down at the table across from each other.
About 2.5 years ago, I was in your shoes. I was let loose on my own, and it was going great. That was until another rookie, Ryan, who I was hired on with, and I was tasked with checking in on a report of some kids running around in the trees on the perimeter. It was dusk, and the air was still. We radioed in that we were beginning our check. It took us about 10 minutes to reach the closest corner of the fence behind the tree line because we were joking around and horseplaying. By the time we got to the fence, it was dark, like nighttime level dark. When I looked behind us on the trail we came in on, I could see the sunlight still. It was like being 2 hours ahead of everyone else. We pulled out our flashlights and pushed on. After about a minute of walking, Ryan stopped. I could see he had squatted down and was looking at the ground in front of him.
Damn, look at John on that nice little monologue there. What a beast. Able to cross from each other.
He had squatted down and was looking at the ground in front of him.
Will paused for a minute and looked up at me. I could see on his face that he was searching for the words.
What's rule number 1, Jay?
Don't whistle at night.
When I saw what he was looking at, I froze. There were dozens of child-sized footprints in the dirt. Ryan stood up and we both heard a whistle. It sounded like when someone tries to mock a bird call. We looked at each other. That sounded close, Ryan said. I shined my flashlight around and we looked for the source of the whistle. After not seeing anything, we agreed to push forward. We heard it again. This time, we could tell it was coming from the left. Ryan shined his light to the left, and I kept looking straight ahead. Again, we couldn't find it and kept moving. There was another whistle, this time from the right. Same as before. We didn't see shit. You know what I didn't realize until after everything? Aside from
What?
Aside from the whistling, there were no other sounds. Not even the sounds of our footsteps. Not even the sounds of our footsteps.
How is that possible? Wow, it's so nice when I don't have to do the
No
reading.
clue, but out there, you're in their world, and the rules of our world don't seem to apply. After that last whistle, Ryan turned to me and said, "I'm gonna try whistling back." I told him that it was a stupid idea and pleaded with him not to, but he did it anyway. Pleaded with him not to, but he did it anyway.
What happened?
It was silent for a second after. Then all hell broke loose. We heard running close by, but in all directions. I could tell we were being circled. The steps were so quick. It sounded like a low hum. Ryan turned to face me and began back up. Rule number 5, Will. I'm not taking you down with me. I could hear the running getting farther away from me as he backed up. I could hear the running getting farther away from me as he backed up.
What did you do?
I was frozen in place. I tried moving, but it was like something was holding me in place. That's when I heard it. A voice inside my... Something was holding me in place. That's when I heard it.
Will sighed, then stood up.
A voice inside my head. All it said was, "He's ours now." Then silence. When I was finally able to move, I moved my light around trying to find Ryan. There were no footprints on the ground in front of me where Ryan was. I couldn't bring myself to push forward, so I backtracked. While I was walking back to where we entered, I noticed something. Walking back to where we entered, I noticed...
Oh, see you in a minute, Katie.
Walking back to where we entered, I noticed something.
Will leaned back against the wall.
There was only one set of footprints on the trail. I couldn't explain it, not then and not now. When I came out of the trail, it was pitch black outside. I saw 2 people walking on the perimeter with flashlights shining at me. "Will, that you?" one of them asked. When they got closer, I saw it was Corporal D. He was still an officer back then. They walked me back inside, and that's when I found out it was midnight. When Ryan and I walked out there, it was 2000 hours. We had been gone for 4 hours, but it only felt like 30 minutes. They asked about Ryan, but all I could say was, they took him.
You got a spare. Nice.
There was only one set of footprints on the trail.
Let's see. Where's that at?
There was only...
Will leaned back again. You know, another story that I really want to do, I just got to find which voice I want for it, is if y'all have listened to Dark Somnium's, is it The Tale of Robert Elm? I fucking love that story. I love that story. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Janice. $5. I appreciate it. I will push, because of y'all's donations, I will push on a little further tonight. I will, absolutely. Anything will keep me going for a little bit longer. No doubt about that.
I still get so giddy seeing Super Chat. That just boggles my mind. If y'all have heard the tale of Robert Elm, that story is so fucking cool. It's about this guy. I mean, I'll try not to spoil too much of it. I'll just give you like the first quick little rundown if you haven't heard it already. A guy is at a bar and he's telling a story about what happened to him in a small town, like 20 years before in his life or something like that. And it's about a guy who basically kind of gets kidnapped almost into this like occult town where they want to perform some like satanic ritual on him. Super cool. I gotta see if I can find that video or that the right person for that. Because I would love to do that story. That one was awesome. I gotta see, because, you know, the person who played the bad guy in that story, Big Daddy Stone, oh my gosh, man. If y'all think I have a deep voice or Vidith has a deep voice, Big Daddy Stone sounds like fucking Thanos. His voice is awesome. So I'm trying to find somebody kind of on that level.
They took him. All I could say was, they took him.
Will stepped up to the table.
All I could say was, they took him.
Will stepped up to the table and leaned in close to me.
Remember the rules and follow them, Jay. 3 of the 5 rookies I was talking about all fell to the same fate. Learn from them. From me. Fate. Learn from them. From me.
I won't, Will. I promise, I said. He nodded at me and we walked out of the room. When I looked at my watch, I saw it was 21:30. Shit, I gotta go meet up with Val in the yard. It's time for the first check. I split away from Will and began to walk out towards the yard.
Stay safe. Let me know how it goes if you come back. Let me know how it goes if you come back,
Will said with a smirk. When I got through the door leading out to the yard, Val was already checking the fence.
Look who decided to show up. Look who decided to show up.
I radioed to control that we were beginning to check the interior check. What the fuck? What did I just say?
Look who decided to show up.
I radioed to control that we were beginning the interior check and caught up with Val. Sorry, I was talking to Will. We finished the interior check and I keyed into the personnel gate.
So, he told you about Ryan?
Mandizzle, thank you for becoming a member. That is awesome. And welcome back. I thought you were gone for the night.
So, he told you about Ryan?
I swung the gate open and we walked into no man's land. I called in the end of the first check and swung the gate open and we walked into no man's land. I fucked it up again. Let's see. Swung the gate open and we walked into no man's land. I called in the end of the first check and the start of the second. Yeah, I whispered. I whispered.
You okay?
She asked. I locked the gate back up and we began to walk along the interior fence.
I know it's a lot to take in, but don't let it get to your head. I need you on... I know it's a lot to take in, but don't let it get to your head. I need you on your shit tonight.
I'm good, I promise, I said. I started to get this feeling of being watched the closer we got to the tree line.
I turned on the flashlight and shined it at the exterior fence. Holy shit, Corporal D wasn't kidding. This thing is like having a sunlight in your hand. No, not a sunlight. I thought I was going to say a sun, but then it said sunlight. Let's see. Yep, man, Dizzle, thank you. And we are going to be hanging out for at least the next 10 more minutes, I think. Holy shit, Corporal D wasn't kidding. This thing is like having... I waited too long. Holy shit, Corporal D wasn't kidding. This thing is like having sunlight in your hand.
I know it's a lot to take in, but...
Cutting some firewood.
No kidding. It's almost too bright. Kidding. It's almost too bright.
Val was right. When I pointed the light at the chain link fence, it reflected off the metal almost to the point of not being able to see past the fence. We walked in silence for a couple minutes before I was frozen in my tracks. I heard what almost sounded like whispering coming from just beyond the fence. Did you say something? Did you say something? Something?
No. Why?
Val stopped a few steps ahead of me before turning around. Could have sworn I heard someone talking. Let's keep going.
The quicker we get back inside, the better. Yeah, the better. Inside, the better. I'll keep an ear out.
While we were walking, I could hear the wind blowing through the trees and crickets chirping in the bushes. Once we finished the second check and walked through the last gate and out the exterior fence, all the sounds vanished. It was like walking through a portal. I radioed control that we were starting the final 2 checks and we started walking. After about 2 minutes of silence, I looked at Val. You hear that? That?
No, what are you...
She stopped herself mid-sentence.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Let's use the first one. Dex, welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Great voice, by the way, in the one John just sent the collabs out with. Herself mid-sentence.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Wait a second. How should that be read? Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe like that. Herself mid-sentence.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. When we stopped walking, I noticed that we had finished the exterior check. I know this is probably the last thing you want to hear, but all we have left is the back fence. I looked at my watch to make a final note of the time. The word's final not even in there. Where the fuck did I get that from? But all we have left is the back fence. I looked at my watch to make note of the time. It was 21:45. I turned my flashlight to the tree line, and about 15 feet in front of us was the trailhead. Fuck it. I sighed before radioing About 15 feet in front of us was the trailhead. Fuck it. I sighed before radioing to control that we were entering the trail.
Let's get this over with. No argument here.
Pegalicious. Yes, I did see that. Well, because if you've seen that, then you probably do too. So I've developed a pretty close relationship with Mr. Grinless entering the trail.
Let's get this over.
Over the past month, I guess.
So have you seen the posts on X where some narrators are getting together to try and grab the attention of the YouTube demon? I don't see your link. Yes, I did see that. I'm glad they're doing something. Thankfully, okay, so I have been, I was demonetized a few months ago. I have since been extremely grateful and very blessed that my channel has been remonetized. I was demonetized for about 10 days, and then I got it back randomly. I still don't know how, other than it was just a blessing from God. I do, though, have no idea how long it'll stay. So I'm assuming I wasn't on that list because I've been remonetized. So who knows exactly what's up with that. Hopefully they all get remonetized. I'm telling you guys, it doesn't look good. I mean, I've been very, very nervous. I mean, YouTube pays us once a month around the 23rd of every month. So if you get paid on February 23rd, you're getting paid what you did in January. So everything is a month behind. And YouTube can demonetize you anytime they want. And when they demonetized me the first time, I had some money sitting in there for like 45 days because they demonetized me like right before payout, and then they kept that check. And then I had to go that whole month without a check. Thankfully, I was still doing DoorDash and stuff. But and we have some savings and whatnot, my wife and I, so it was fine. But I basically, all of us narrators, myself included, have this fucking sword of Damocles just hovering over us. Because we don't know when this shit's going to happen again. We don't know how long it's going to go. If you follow Mr. Grinless, and I've been watching every video of his, and when I'm done this live stream, I'm going to hang out with my daughter and my wife for a little bit. And then I'm going to watch the podcast he just dropped. I was on one of his podcasts. Check it out too if you want. He's got like 4 or 5 up so far. It's nerve-wracking, guys. From what Mr. Grinless has uncovered, and so to give you all a quick rundown, Grinless has been talking to a lot. So there are actually quite a few big-time narrators in the 1 million plus, and a lot in the 500,000 subscriber plus, that are demonetized and have not spoken out about it. And it's pretty annoying that the big guys are hit and they know something fucked up is happening and they're not opening their mouths about it. But I'm sure they don't want to rock the boat, but it's also a bit cowardly. I'll just go ahead and say that. There are narrators that you would not believe that have been demonetized and have been for months that have not spoken out about it. It's really the smaller to mid-size that are speaking out about it. And Grinless has emails from the 1 million plus subscriber creators in this niche that have personal YouTube reps that have been demonetized, and the YouTube reps are telling these big guys, you will not get remonetized unless you delete every story on your channel that has the word Reddit in it. So this isn't very, it doesn't look good for the future of creepypastas, honestly. Every single one of us could be demonetized in a few months or 6 months, whatever YouTube decides. It looks like they want to wipe out the narration niche. And I did not believe that until Mr. Grinless personally showed me some of these emails that he was getting, that big reps were getting from, like, your Let's Not Meet story channels, gone. Your creepypasta channels, gone. There's even suspicions that the algorithm, the YouTube demonetization bot, is scanning through people's descriptions and looking for the word creepypasta and looking for the word Reddit. And like horror narration, scary story narration, and it's just mass demonetizing these channels. I am one of the very few that was lucky to get my monetization back. Me, Dusklight Vidith. Campfire Tales did, but Campfire Tales deleted like 500 videos. Mr. Grinless just deleted like 70% of his entire catalog. A couple other YouTubers deleted their entire catalog. I'm telling y'all right now, I will not delete my catalog. I have thousands and thousands of hours of work. I mean, y'all see this. I've been streaming for 3 hours almost, and I had 20 minutes of this recorded already, and I'm at 55 minutes, 52 minutes. Now, granted, I've been just yabbering a bunch talking to y'all, but a 4-hour story takes like 7 hours of recording because of all the screw ups, the mess ups, and if you have collabs, it's back and forth between voices. If I sit down and record a 1-hour story with just me, and I'm sitting down, I don't make a lot of mistakes compared to a lot of people, even though y'all hear me. I can record an hour story in like an hour and 15 minutes. A lot of narrators need like 2 hours for that because they mess up, they got to redo, retake, read this, that. I can get an hour story done pretty quick, but I wasn't always like that, and I do punch and roll now, so my editing is, when I'm done the story, my editing's done. But I've got like 700 or 680 videos, something like that on that channel. You're talking like 6 years of my life. 680 videos has got to be 5,000 hours or more. I could never delete my back catalog. Some people are deleting thousands of hours of work to try to get back into the YouTube Partner Program. Thankfully, I did. If I get kicked off again, I don't know what I'll do. Spotify has been nice. If I got kicked off again, I'll go to making like one video a week on YouTube, and then Spotify and Patreon, and then I'll have to work and then I'll have to do DoorDash all fucking day. But it is what it is. Yeah, you do what you do, you adapt. YouTube is pretty evil. Google is evil as a whole. That company fucking blows. But, they have a fucking monopoly. So it's whatever. And yeah, Dexter, yeah, Spotify. I got monetized on Spotify a couple months ago, and they do fucking pay more, which I was blown away at. I thought for sure YouTube paid more money, but I'm getting like half the views on Spotify, and I'm making, over half of that of what YouTube's paying me. So I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Spotify is paying pretty well, although I don't get a lot of views over there, so I'm not making a lot of money over there. But it is nice now that I have Spotify. But the thing is everyone who's getting demonetized is going to Spotify. So, and all the AI guys are going to Spotify. So Spotify is going to have to do the same thing. They're going to demonetize a lot of people. They're going to kick a lot of people off their platform. YouTube is very scary at the moment, and it's never been like this before. So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, Dex. There should be one because YouTube is not transparent. They don't tell you what's happening. They're not telling you why. They're just labeling you as inauthentic content, which is an even more bullshit label because, one, what I do and what we do is not inauthentic. I'm a human being reading human written stories. Nothing inauthentic about that. But under that inauthentic label, if Google deems you inauthentic, they can take your fucking money out of your AdSense account. So if you've got money in there, not only do they hold it, but they can just take that fucking money for themselves because they're like, oh, it's inauthentic. It's not real. It's ours now. So they can literally just fucking take it. It's crooked. I hope YouTube gets enough blowback. I cannot believe that they're doing this. I mean, story narration is a huge fucking niche. Now a creepypasta is a subgenre of narration, but it's huge. I mean, you're talking billions of views a month go into this niche. Now that might be nothing compared to, other niches, but it's crazy what they're doing. I mean, they're pissing a lot of people off. I know y'all were in outrage when I got demonetized. I don't know why they've been doing this. You would think it would just be easy to get rid. I thought they were doing this just to get rid of 11 Lab voices, which I can't stand because some guy will make a channel and he'll make like 10 channels and he'll upload 10 videos a day to each with an 11 Labs voice, get tons of fucking views, 3 channels get shut down, but he still has 7, so it doesn't matter. They're raking in money. They go on Reddit and they go on Creepypasta Wiki and they copy and paste stories, put it into the 11 Lab script generator, and then post it to YouTube. It takes them fucking 2 minutes, and then they make money on that. You'd think that YouTube would just ban the 11 Labs voice, but I don't fucking know why they don't. Especially since you can't go through shorts anymore without hearing 10 interesting facts about water. Fact number 1: water is bipolar. Some shit. Water expands when frozen. It's like, I fucking know all this shit. I don't want your fucking AI voice on here with your AI generated images and video on them. What the fuck? That's all YouTube is now. It's turning into slop, but hopefully it gets fixed. And yeah, Void of Rules and Void of Fears. I know I put him on blast like 8 months ago because he was literally stealing all my fucking, and not just me either. He was stealing other people too, like Lighthouse. He was taking the titles of videos. Like, I know what he was doing. I know what he was doing. He didn't tell me, but he admitted to doing some of it. He didn't tell me what he did, but I know what he was doing. He was taking all of he was going through channels in the creepypasta niche, going to their most popular videos, taking the title, and then putting it into a fucking ChatGPT or a Claude or something, and then saying, here's a title of an idea of a story. Generate me a 9,000 word script for this. And then he was, getting that. And then he was putting that into an 11 Labs voice. And now he's doing the same. He got demonetized on YouTube, didn't get remonetized the last time I checked. And now he's been just fucking blasting Spotify. So, yeah, I know. And, this motherfucker had the audacity to message me. I left multiple comments on his videos on multiple accounts. So I know this motherfucker was just fucking ignoring me. And I know he banned me. He banned me from his channel. And then this cocksucker has the fucking audacity to email me after I make a video and a post about it and say, oh man, I'm so sorry. Can you take your video down? And I was like, dude, I fucking tried to contact you for a fucking month. And I emailed him too. And you fucking ignored me the whole time. You can go fuck yourself. And then he said some bullshit. Oh, I never saw it. Man, you fucking liar. I left multiple comments, multiple fucking emails. Get the fuck out of here. But, that's just, people want to make a quick buck, Yeah, blatant copy slop pastas is perfect wording for that. Because I'm like, you know what? At least the only thing I do respect, and I don't respect him at all, but he at least used a good 11 Labs voice. Some of these other ones, he'll fucking read like, we entered the trailhead, and I kept looking the point straight in. I can't even fucking talk in that voice. It'll be the most obvious fucking robot. It's not even a good one. Void of Fear, Void of Rules. I had to listen to quite a bit. Like, I was 90% sure within 5 seconds, but I was like, I'm not 10% not sure. And then I'm like, let me listen. And then I listened to a couple whole videos, and I was like, oh yeah. When it said, when a word is like, when it says, how is that possible? And it says, how is that possible? You're like, oh, okay. You're fucking up easy words. That's definitely 11 Labs at that point. Yeah, you can tell channels do that crap because a lot of Angel Vatican demon story crap, and the stories didn't end in any way that made sense. Like, bro, the story made no sense. You're exactly right. Like, I have a lot of hell and demon stories on my channel, but one, I write some of them myself, and two, I find these on Reddit or Creepypasta Wiki, and I email or DM the people and make sure I get permission, and then I breeze through them to make sure the story makes sense. A lot of those demon Vatican stories, you're like, oh, title sounds cool as shit, and then you click on it and you listen. One, it's AI voice, and then two, you're like, what the fuck? There's no continuity here. Nothing makes sense. You said he was 6'2" with black hair, and then 10 minutes later he's 5'8" with red hair. Oh yeah, your AI can't even keep track of this shit. Like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he specifically used actually a very good voice. His voice was very realistic that he used. Like I said, I knew right away, but I wasn't completely sure. It took me a little bit. I had to actually listen for the inflections on words, and I was like, damn, this is definitely an AI guy. And I knew he was copying me. If you look at, and he might have changed them by now, like, he was taking all my titles and all my thumbnails word for word, and then it was so blatant. I was like, even when I would put out a compilation, like Hell's Waiting Room, I was a torture executioner, and the third title would be like, I went to the goat room. You know, I would put like 3 videos together, and I try to consolidate the titles into the smallest thing, and then I'm like, you even copied the fucking compilation video. How fucking stupid are you? He's a changeling in the story. Yeah, there you go. Get him out of that plot hole. It's platitude and cliches, like a story. A dude met the angel of God and it changed his life, and he was still an atheist for no reason. Like, what? Yeah, tell me, like, what the fuck sense? Like, come on. You can't even use the AI well. Like, you're not even trying at this point. I mean, see, a lot of these guys, because it's easy to write a story with AI. I've seen like people on YouTube videos, like, you know, the top 10 faceless niches, right, on YouTube, and then they'll be like, and then you can do this, you can make money writing stories, and they'll show a video of how to use ChatGPT, and you can tell ChatGPT, like, I want a story about a guy who goes to the Vatican, and they tell him a secret and 5 rules, and then you're like, and I want it to be 8,000 words long or some shit. And then, you know, make an outline. And then ChatGPT will fucking give you an outline in 6 seconds. And then you say, okay, now write it. And then it will write the whole thing. And then the people don't even proofread it. And then they just plug that shit into 11 Labs. And it baffles me. Like, I don't want to insult anybody, like listeners and stuff. But I'll see these obvious fucking AI channels. Here's another one, Mr. Skeleton, that Mr. Grinless showed me. I'm sorry if any of y'all, I doubt any of y'all are on it. Mr. Skeleton, he uses like a super deep Thanos fucking corpse husband AI voice. And then he puts a skeleton mask on, and he literally just moves his head around like a fucking Power Ranger. If y'all watched Power Rangers when you were little, you noticed, because you can't ever see their mouths and their uniforms, there's super exaggerated head movements and hand movements because they're trying to show you, hey, I'm the one talking. And Mr. Skeleton is sitting there, like, nodding his fucking head like a moron, like just got fucking lobotomized, and he's like pretending to read the story. And I'm like, and then people will be on comments, I love your voice, and I'm like, holy fuck, people don't even know nowadays, man. It's crazy. And his isn't even a fucking good AI. It's so obvious, and he literally has the audacity to sit in front of a fucking microphone and shake his head and act like he's narrating the story. And he just got hit for demonetization. He deleted all his videos a little while ago, and trying to get back into the program. But it's like, dude, go fuck yourself. The reason we're getting demonetized is because of people like y'all. And then Void of Fears and Void of Rules, that motherfucker's got like 60,000 subscribers or some shit between his 2 channels. Like, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Over with. Let's get this over with.
Let's see, where is that? There we go, top of the page.
Let's get this over with.
We entered the trailhead, and I kept the light pointing straight ahead. Even with how bright the lights seemed outside the trail, we could only see about 10 feet in front of us. It was like there was a black sheet being held up at the end of the beam. As we walked along the trail, my eyes kept panning to the ground, looking out for little footprints Will told me about. But there was nothing there. What's that? I said, as I saw an orange landscaping flag on the ground. Written on the flag was confirmation code 36021. I had Val write down the code. Let's leave this here. Something tells me taking anything from here is a bad idea. Yeah, you know, people like us, Dex, and a lot of us common listeners can usually tell pretty quickly. But a lot of people who don't listen too much, or a lot of the older people, they fall for that shit right away. And some of them just don't even care. Wow, man, Dizzle, that is insane. I mean, that's just dumb. I mean, like, how stupid can you be, honestly, to to reply that fast? That's crazy. That's like when you said 2 hour stories after only 30 have to have 2 hour stories after only having the script for 30 minutes. That's like when you send your buddy a fucking like a TikTok or a Facebook reel and then they LOL in like 7 seconds, but it's like a 40-second video. It's like, bitch, I know you didn't even fucking watch it. Take your LOL back, motherfucker. What's up with Yanks Dex? Something tells me taking anything from here is a bad idea. Oh, fuck. Okay, that was Val's line next. Okay, there we go.
No argument here. Wonder why it's here, though. Bunch of times, and have never seen it before.
Here's a bad idea.
No argument here. Wonder why it's here, though. I've been through here
And I don't know if y'all listen to Mr. Creeps, but I've heard a lot about him putting his voice into an AI generator to narrate some of his stories. I forgot. I heard that actually a while ago. I don't know how true it is. So, but he puts out a lot of content. So hey. He's also been in, I know this for a fact though, he's been in a lot of trouble with a lot of authors over the years for narrating stories off Reddit without permission, not paying. I mean, the guy's a fucking million subscriber channel. Not paying your authors is insane. Dax. Oh, bro, you crack me up. Oh shit.
have never seen it before. And have never.
All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up soon. Probably finish this page. If y'all aren't a member, consider becoming a member. Consider gifting a membership. Any more super chats before the night?
Have never seen it before.
Let's finish this page up.
And have never seen it before.
Looks fairly new. I'll ask Dee about it when we get back. We continued walking until we popped out of the trees at the other end of the trail about 20 minutes later. Well, that was uneventful. I don't even... Yeah, cut that out, I said. Let's see. Let's go back to Val.
Don't get cocky. We still have more of those checks ahead of us. What time is it?
Yeah, Creeps is on the Watchdog blacklist, and people complained about not getting paid, and he would just remove it. Yeah, you saw the exact same shit I did. El Dagusto. You saw the same shit I did. I saw that post too, or a post similar to that, and I'm like, I saw the Watchdog list, and I saw people talk about it, and I'm like, dude, all right, so to give y'all an idea of what people make in this genre, in this niche, when you get into the higher views, it's insane. I mean, when you see someone with 100,000, if you see like one of your big guys or Mr. Creepy Pasta or something, or Mr. Creeps, if you see 100,000 views on a video, and it's like, say it's an hour-long video, that video made like $1,500, to give y'all an idea. Probably more, actually. So some of these guys are just fucking printing money. Oh, 500,000 views, it's a 2-hour video. That shit just made like $4,000, if not more than that. Then you got, channels making like, 1 million views a month. And those channels are making like 15 to like 18 grand. And that's literally just off of YouTube. Don't forget that these guys upload to Spotify. Some of them take fucking BetterHelp sponsorships, which sell your fucking data, or AG Athletic Greens, which is a bullshit fucking supplement. It's been debunked multiple times. It doesn't fucking do anything for you. You know, it's kind of crazy. What's up, Rafaim Volkihar? What's up, dude? Oh, yeah. Then you have, Creeps McPasta. We were talking about, I know you probably know, but we were talking about Mr. Creeps earlier, Dex, but then you have Creeps McPasta, which I remember all that bullshit. I watched all the fucking videos on him like 5 years ago. Like, it's obvious, man. We all know. It's obvious, you know, what happened there. Yeah, and you know, a lot of these people change the titles too of stories just to try to get around authors finding them and whatnot. One sec, everybody. My wife is texting me. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I mean, if you're a channel that makes like 15 to 20 grand a month and you can't pay authors $50 for your stories, it's just mind-boggling to me. All right, everybody. I don't think. I am going to call it a night. Let's see. I don't know when the next live stream will be. Maybe sometime this week, maybe Wednesday. There will definitely be one on Monday where I will be doing the same thing. I will be narrating this story in real time for y'all. That was a weird burp. Whatever. I'll be narrating this story for y'all again. I might go ahead and let's see. I wanted to say I'm a big fan of your work and thank you for all your content. Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you. What the hell was I? What was I talking about? So I might record some of this while I'm not on the live stream. Anything that I record not on the live stream, I'll make sure to leave a note of where I was, and then when I pick up the next live stream, I'll go ahead and start the recording. So if I record like an hour, next live stream, I'll play that whole hour. So people who were here for this and come back in time for the next one get a whole, get some continuity there. But thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I cannot thank y'all enough. I have a lot of fun doing these. I really would like to do these every week and get a dedicated schedule every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And I would love to see the chat go to like 20, 30, 40 people every week. Thank you, Dex. Give the stream a like. I keep the streams unmonetized, by the way, during the live stream because no one wants some fucking ads playing in the middle of a live stream. They do get monetized after, but and then YouTube puts a million fucking ads in them that I go in and try to manually remove most of them. But give me a like, give me a subscribe, a follow, join if you can, and I will try to be here. I will be here next Monday for sure. I'm gonna try to start maybe bringing in people too. I would love to do a live reading with multiple people if I can. I don't know how to work that out. But I'd love to do it. Get multiple people in, read a story live. We'll see how that goes. I'll see who wants to do it. I'll hit up Dex, John, We Try Horror, Vox, all of them. See if they want to join in. I would love to have that go on. And I'd love to build this to a 20, 30, 40 viewership every week. Thank you all so much for listening. And I'll see you next time.